Yeah, so the TikTok thing passed the House yesterday. I mean, overwhelmingly, China's like warning the United States, if you ban TikTok in the United States, or, well, listen, the initial play is to force the Chinese company that owns TikTok, and of course the concern is, and we know that they have tracked Americans. I mean, this is not speculation. This is not what if. We know for a fact that Americans have been tracked by, and we don't know exactly who, but there are reports that have been offered up in intelligence closed-door hearings that I think lay out some Americans that have been tracked by the app. So there are some serious concerns, and the Chinese are saying, oh, this will come back to bite the United States. Of course, what Congress is hoping to do is force the Chinese company to sell TikTok to an American company. And if that doesn't happen, if the bill is signed into law, because right now the whole TikTok deal has passed the House, it's got to go through the Senate. A little tougher for the Senate, but Biden, the prez, says that he'll sign it. And that would then force the parent company of TikTok to either sell it within 6 months or it would be banned in the USA. Americans have been tracked. They've been tracked doing ridiculous dances on TikTok. All right, Roxanne, you can't simplify it like that. It's true. No, it's not true. You've been exposed. No, it's not true. I mean, that's one of the ways we've been tracked. No, that's not. There apparently are some important individuals that the app has used to track them, and it's not. You can't simplify it and just say, "Oh, it's stupid reels or stupid videos of people doing stupid dances." You can't. So you're saying you can't dumb it down like that. You can't ignore the fact that people are doing stupid dances. They are, but that's not the point. The point,
right? But you're saying, like, if there's like a CEO of a company, right? It has the tracking app, like the location app. It knows where you physically are.
All the user data, plus the app can crawl into your data on your phone, your address book, your information, your texts. There are a lot of concerns about privacy. You're right. So I know I'm right. I'm sorry. I thought I didn't know TikTok discussion had a moratorium on jokes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This
is all business.
All business. Roxanne is correct. If you are an important individual and you like twerking videos, the Chinese have all the dirt on you.
Listen, there's a lot of problematic issues with the app. It's data collection. There's the psychological aspect of taking people down rabbit holes, power of suggestion, kind of warping minds to a certain extent. So it is multi-layered on what the TikTok issue is, especially since China is not our friend. They use subversive tactics to counter American government, American culture, American world presence. Listen, the Chinese have been building up their military. They spy on us with spyware. They have infiltrated our infrastructural systems in this country. They have hacked beyond belief. They have participated in gross misinformation in this country. There's just a lot of things that are at play here. And TikTok is a huge app. It's used by an estimated 170 million Americans. But that's what makes it an even greater and deeper national security threat, because it's a Chinese company and the Chinese Communist government has full access to all of their data. That's just a requirement. Look at it this way. Do you think for a minute that China would allow a U.S. company to operate an app like TikTok in China? Of course not. You know, it's let me put it this way. It's a Trojan horse is what it is. And I have never been on TikTok. I don't have an account. I've never started an account. Fester has an MJ Morning Show TikTok account set up, but there's nothing on it. You just grabbed it as a placeholder.
Right.
So nobody would take our name and squat our name. But, you know, even then that I find that, you know, bothersome, because still they have a degree of information. But it's not installed on any phones, so right. we don't have our accounts, just kind of like a placeholder.
So any information the Chinese government gets goes straight to the Chinese military, and General Cao knows.
You got to pronounce it right.
That's a good one.
General Cao.
No, General Cao.
Yeah. Well, it would be Cao or
Cao.
You're talking about.
Don't be chicken, MJ.
General Tso's chicken.
Don't get spicy with me this morning.
It's not Cao.
It's General Cao. General
That's
Cao's
what I
chicken.
call it. Yeah.
It would be it's either Tso's or Cao. Yeah. You're just saying Cao like a pig.
That way to ruin the joke.
I didn't say Cao Chinese enough. Cao. You are the first on General Cao's list, and you will be dealt with wonton torture.
All right. Fester, don't get derogatory on the program.
Derogatory or delicious?
All right, forget it. What about MSG? Do you cook with MSG?
Only.
Yeah, because MSG equals flavor. Absolutely. As Uncle Roger said, MSG is flavor, right? That's what Uncle Raj said. All right, 6:06. Oh, man, Fester, I got some bad news for you. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with the whole TikTok deal, because we'll get into this a little more detail later on. But in the House of Representatives, they voted 352 to 65. I mean, you don't see this type of bipartisan support. So Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly voted to force TikTok to either sell or be banned in the U.S. It moves on to the Senate, and it's going to be maybe a little tougher climb. But again, Biden says that he'll sign the TikTok bill into effect.
Did you see the vote live? I saw it on C-SPAN, and after the vote, it was so quiet in the House of Representatives that you could hear the egg drop.
Nope, you could hear the clock go tick. Tock.
Oh, you missed Fester's soup joke.
I mean, I had a soup joke.
I heard.
It ties in with the General Cao or Cao.
Killing it. You're killing it today, buddy.
Listen.
Thursday show on the MJ broadcast, so I would not miss one single moment of this thing. At 6:08, let's grab traffic. Pat is on with the latest MJ Morning Show, back in just a minute. 619 MJ Morning Show, MJ and the crew, Roxanne, Fester, Froggy, me, MJ, Andrew in the producer's booth over there. Fester, is there one particular story today or one news flash, one item that you possibly saw in the last 18 to 24 hours that has piqued your interest, a cause of concern? Because there's something that I'm focusing on here. I'm just curious if you got the alert and what this means to you personally.
Did something happen to Captain Crunch?
No. But it is a brand I think you care about.
Okay.
Well, it's not a thing. It's a brand that I know you care about.
Did Little Debbie die? She's a real person, you know.
You are gravitating towards food. It is not food related, per se. So it's not a food brand. It's not Captain Crunch.
Did you know the guy who invented graham crackers did it so you'd stop playing with yourself?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What the hell did you just say?
The guy who invented graham crackers did it for moral reasons so you'd have something to do with your hands besides touching your junk.
That's not real.
Where did you come up with this?
Well, I did a deep dive once.
No,
into
you get out of here.
graham crackers.
That doesn't make sense. You could just eat an apple if you wanted to do that as well.
What?
He doesn't need to invent a graham cracker.
What the hell does a cracker have to do with preventing you from fondling yourself?
I mean, it gives you something else to hold in your hand besides, that.
How about an apple?
Dude,
How about a hot dog?
That is the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard.
Sylvester Graham. He was from a long line of clergymen.
Hang on a minute. All right, Andrew says it's true.
Aha! I told you.
Andrew, our producer.
I got to find the exact part about touching yourself. But
Sylvester Graham, best known today for his invention of
the graham cracker.
Graham cracker.
Yeah.
Where did you see this on some History Channel thing, or where did you stumble across? This is nothing that you've banked in your memory bank. This is something you've recently somehow, in the last day, heard somewhere.
No, I heard this
Come on,
I heard this 30 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
it seems
you're
like
full
a
of
little
crap.
tidbit you never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to forget this.
So wait, why did graham crackers get introduced a moment ago? Because I'm talking about. I don't understand the correlation.
I went down I asked about Captain Crunch first.
Right.
And then I asked about Little Debbie.
Yep.
And then it just popped into my head because we're talking about cookies and snacks and carbohydrates. And Sylvester Graham hated sex. He was a 19th century minister that preached that carnal desire caused headaches, epilepsy, and even insanity. And to stop followers from getting frisky, he invented a bland biscuit-like cracker to cure going at it themselves.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in
sexual
my life.
urges in
Right.
1829.
All right, so essentially, Sylvester suffering succotash.
So stop having sex.
Yeah. So what did he want to bring an end to the human race?
Exactly.
What-
He's here thanks to sex.
Yeah,
Or he was here.
Exactly. So he wanted human extinction? His graham cracker was supposed to introduce a mass extinction event because he hated sex?
Here, from the New York Post.
Yeah, what's the date on this?
2016.
All right, so this is what?
This might have been where I originally saw it. I don't know. Sylvester.
8 years ago.
Yes.
The graham cracker was invented to stop you from masturbating. Really?
Yes.
Sylvester Graham hated sex. The puritanical 19th century minister preached that carnal desire caused headaches, epilepsy, even insanity. That's what Fester just said. To stop his followers from getting frisky, he invented a bland biscuit-like cracker. Dude, this is what. Yeah. Oh, you read this already.
The first two paragraphs came up in the little snippet, but
in the name, the graham cracker, the snack that since has become the stuff of s'mores and kindergarten classrooms.
yeah.
How the cracker went from an anti-sex propaganda meal to this is the dumbest way to prevent people from, doing stuff to them. This is idiotic.
Anyone have a box of graham crackers in their house right now and have no desire to do that?
I eat and do all of the. I eat everything he's for, and I do everything he's against.
I have never heard this in my life.
I think we all do.
I
yeah.
guess I'm. All right, Roxanne, did you ever hear this graham cracker story ever?
This is a Fester Dolt breaking news story if I've ever heard one.
It's just new. It's not breaking news as much as it's just new news.
It's breaking in my world.
I mean, you're exposed to stuff.
I never heard of it. Roxanne never heard of it. Froggy, have you ever heard of this?
Oh, yeah. I've known it for years.
Will you stop it?
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Ever.
His mother would walk in on him and yell, Sylvester Graham would be horrified by you, Michael.
Give me a graham cracker and lay off.
See?
That's unbelievable. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
So, no.
It's obviously not what you're talking
Let
about.
me go back to where I started on this. Fester, is there any particular news item in the last 18 to 24 hours that caught your attention? It's something you like.
Oh, man, I like so much.
And it's not food related because I said it's not Little Debbie. It's not Captain Crunch.
Are they recalling 2010 Cadillacs?
Nope.
Oh, what? What is it?
Dollar Tree and Family Dollar stores to close nearly 1,000 locations.
Dude, I knew that
Wow.
a day and a half ago. You said in like the last. First of all, there are too many stores. There's too many of these stores. It's an unsustainable model to have them in every corner. They're not 7-Elevens.
They're planning on closing nearly 1,000 stores collectively between Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. You know, I've seen stores that are co-branded as well.
Yeah, the combo stuff.
The combo. How do you delineate Dollar Tree from Family Dollar? Because Dollar Tree used to be everything's $1. Then it went to the $1.25 tree. Well, but still retaining the name Dollar Tree. And then didn't I hear recently that $1.25 has been up to like $1.50?
They now have like the Dollar More section. They have things up to $5 now in the Dollar Tree. So the Dollar Tree essentially is turning into a Family Dollar kind of.
But I've always seen Dollar Trees as a separate location.
Yeah.
Family Dollar as a separate location. And of course, Family Dollar, they've got the yellow and black sign. The Dollar Tree is the green sign, right?
Yes.
But hold on a minute.
Dollar General's yellow.
No, I'm sorry.
Family Dollar.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I screwed that up. All right. So what do you say, Froggy? The
Dollar General.
I'm sorry. You're right. See, I just mix up all these damn places. So Dollar General is the yellow and black.
Family Dollar is like orange and red.
How do you know that? You're supposed to be colorblind.
I used to do signage for Family Dollar.
Get out of here. You know what? I think you're lying to us about your color blindness. You're not really color. Are you really?
Yes, I am really. But go ahead, make fun of my disability. That's fine. I'll be going to HR about it. It's okay. Go ahead, make fun of it. I can't see colors.
Why don't you settle down and eat some graham crackers?
All right, but here's the deal. For the first time, I hadn't seen this, and I don't even know where the hell I saw it, but just like in the last week, I saw a store that had both the Family Dollar and the Dollar Tree logo on the building. You're telling me this has been happening for a while? I saw it for the first time in the last week, actually.
It's been a couple of years since they've rolled out. I think I saw one in Tampa on MLK.
Right.
Kind of near the fairgrounds.
Well, the deal is Family Dollar is going to close close to 600 locations. And I guess the balance is going to be the Dollar Tree stores, about 370. So the total number is just shy of 1,970 stores. So what have they just built too many? They're too close to each other. I mean, that you don't close stores if they're doing well, right?
There are good Dollar Trees, and then there's great Dollar Trees.
What's the difference?
Well, a good Dollar Tree is like, just in a regular strip mall that has like, maybe like a 2,000 square foot store with, like 3 aisles or 4 aisles. But then there's ones that like took over like old supermarkets, like the one in Pinellas Park at the corner of Park Boulevard and 66th Street.
Dude, you know too much
I think
about
that used to be like a cash and carry or something.
You know too much about this crap.
Wow. And it's enormous, and it's got so much more stuff.
Today's National Pie Day because it's 3/14.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the whole 3.14, 3/14. So you know that all kinds of like pizza places are like doing specials today.
IHOP probably had, or not IHOP, Village Inn probably
Village
has a
Inn.
pie. Yeah.
Remember Perkins? Is there any more Perkins
Yeah,
around?
there's I think there's a Perkins on Gulf to Bay near 19. Yeah.
You used to have good
There's
pies.
still a Perkins over there. Yeah, the Perkins. Don't you walk into Perkins and the first thing you see is like the bakery section, right? Isn't that?
You have like the case.
Yeah, the cookies, the cakes,
I
exactly.
think it's the same way at Village Inn.
Yeah, so National Pie Day is today because today is the 14th of March, so it's 314, and pi, of course, is 3.14, and then, it goes on for infinity. But 7-Eleven is going to offer $3.14 pizzas today. Kind of a pizza snob. I don't know how I would rate a 7. I've never had a 7-Eleven pizza. So you're probably saying, don't knock it till you try it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I'm guessing that 7-Eleven pizza is not gonna meet my criteria for great pizza.
You know, for
But-
$3.14.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
So 7-Eleven, $3.14. Speedway as well. I guess going to offer a $3.14 pizza deal today. Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza.
I like Anthony's Cold Fire Pizza. That's good stuff. Their
Yeah.
cauliflower one, ooh.
You mean the cauliflower crust?
No, they
Or-
have cauliflower as the main topping.
Oh,
and
as the
cheese.
topping
Oh,
on
so
regular,
good.
because a lot of places, with their gluten-free options, they'll
Yeah.
offer a cauliflower crust, so it's not a dough or a gluten-based crust. So today at Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, you can get a 10-inch cheese pizza for $3.14. Yeah, I got a whole list here. Some of these places I never heard of. Burger King.
What are they doing?
Sunday pie special. What do they have, like a pie slice called the Sunday pie for dessert?
Yeah, it's like prepackaged in a square box. It's like I
Yeah.
think Hershey's makes it or something.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Hershey Sunday pie. So you can get that for $3.14 today at Burger King.
A whole pie or one slice? This is a little
No,
high.
one slice in the cardboard box. Yeah. California Pizza Kitchen. I guess you can sign up for their loyalty program.
The place is still around?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no
Do they
idea.
still have a California Pizza Kitchen at the mall?
I don't know.
Yes, they do.
International,
it's good.
they do.
Uh-huh.
International Plaza has one.
Yeah.
I love their
so-
salads.
Grimaldi's Pizza. Did I mention Grimaldi's yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, so Grimaldi's.
So much pie.
Yeah, Grimaldi's has a location at West Shore Plaza. We've gone there numerous times. Grimaldi's, $3.14 slices. So they're not going to get, not a whole pie, but typically at Grimaldi's, you have to get the whole pie at Grimaldi's. So today, though, they're going to do giant slices
All right.
for $3.14. Anyway, keep your eyes out because it's National Pie Day 3.14, 314. So everyone's getting in on the promotional action. So just keep your eyes open and see what pops up. 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, it's early morons in the news. Always a great pile of total imbetards, total imbeciles, and today's no different. So morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Now. Come out about the J-Lo. All right, so this is fresh. This is like brand new. Folks,
Is she okay? What
Oh
happened?
my gosh, she's dead?
What happened to J-Lo?
I can't believe she's gone.
So young.
we've got
Not really.
breaking J-Lo. I never said that J-Lo had expired.
You said we have breaking news about J-Lo.
Oh, God,
Is
thank
she
God.
okay?
Dude,
Is
yes,
she okay?
J-Lo is fine, apparently. Yes.
I was thinking about Ben.
J-Lo didn't die. I mean, what? Off the success of the Dung King Super Bowl commercial?
He just killed her.
No, stop it. All right.
Suffocate her with Boston cream filling.
Mm.
That's the way I want to go.
Just what blocked her airway? All right, J-Lo is fine. We do have J-Lo breaking news. I'm sure that many are going to be totally busted up about this.
What, they like release more tickets to her concert?
No,
No.
they've canceled the concert.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Just the opposite.
Wait, our concert here?
Yes.
Oh. Ooh.
Jennifer Lopez cancels Tampa concert and 6 other dates. Hang on, this is just out. Now, this is her first tour in like 5 years. Remember all the hoopla?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big story. This is, just a short time ago. Oh, J-Lo coming to Tampa. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, Ben Affleck's second time around better half, right?
Yeah.
Well,
The ex of like 7 other guys.
it looks like the This Is Me Now tour is not hitting Tampa. Yeah,
No.
let me tell you what we have here. This is the official release. It was set for August 27th at Amalie in downtown Tampa, but here is the statement from Ticketmaster. Unfortunately, the event organizer has had to cancel your event. No action is required to obtain a refund. It'll be processed to the original method of payment used at the time of purchase. once funds are received from the event organizer, which is usually completed within 30 days. Now, Rolling Stone is reporting that if you bought tickets for the final 7 tour dates, that'll be Cleveland, Nashville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Tampa, New Orleans, and Houston, everyone's notified of the cancellation. So Cleveland, Nashville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Tampa, New Orleans, Houston. Now, no reason was given on why J-Lo is not going to stop in those cities. I have an idea. You don't cancel dates in that many cities and that many big cities if you were filling the venue. My guess is that pre-sales were probably not too good.
Okay, that's totally opposite of my guess, because I'm thinking to myself, if you're J-Lo, you probably get a lot of like cool invitations to do fun stuff. And she's like, August 27th, that's not going to work for me.
No, I got a bowling. I was invited to go bowling. I'm going to cancel.
Well, she's in a league.
I'm going to cancel Tampa. Yeah. You know what? I was invited to brunch. I'm going to cancel Atlanta.
Okay, so hold on. I don't think that's the case, MJ, because it would be kind of random where there were bad ticket sales. This is between the dates of August 22nd and August 30th.
Yeah.
So this is a block of concerts in a row, according to another story I'm seeing.
I think she's going to pop up on a yacht somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Right? Yeah.
She's going to be seen on a mega yacht in Smeralda in Italy, off of Sardinia. Is that it?
I mean, think about, she probably sees how many tickets Taylor Swift sells, and she's like, ugh, not even worth it.
Listen, Fester, you're making a good point as well.
What? I made a good point.
I made a good point.
Mine was
Something better came
Fester's.
I mean, no points were as good as mine.
Don't get all jealous. It's like you're petting one of your dogs and the other dog's getting jealous. Calm down.
As my grandfather used to say, Fester has a point, but if you comb your hair right, nobody will notice.
God, that is awful.
What are you talking about? It's great.
The granddad joke.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
So
don't act like you're not going to use it.
no, so I mean,
Froggy, I will never use that.
You're never going to say you have a point, but if you comb your hair right, nobody will notice.
Because your hair's too curly, so that joke doesn't apply.
I will never, ever use that. All right, early morons in the news here on the MJ Morning Show. A teenage motorcyclist in a little bit of trouble. He fled the cops at 145 miles an hour on I-4. And guess what his license plate read? He had a Florida personalized plate that read Will Run. WILLRUN.
As he did.
So you're telling me the DMV did not ban that plate? You're on a crotch rocket motorcycle. You're doing 145 miles an hour trying to flee cops on I-4. Your license plate says Will Run.
that's fine.
Yeah. This is according to the Volusia Sheriff's Office. Teenager was caught weaving all through I-4 traffic at high speeds. This was near Sanford, just outside of Orlando. Dash cam video on the cop car shows the deputy trying to catch Ashton Jarvis, 19, of New Smyrna Beach, on foot after their county sheriff's office helicopter had tracked the suspect from the sky. The teen was weaving through cars, intersections, finally stopped, got arrested, and said, "Oh man, was that bleep fun?" That's seriously. The deputy overheard him saying, "Oh man, was that S-bomb fun?" And
it's a guy just living life.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I screwed that up. The deputy said, "Oh man, was that bleep fun?" And then Jarvis, the motorcycle guy, said, "No, not really." I read that totally wrong.
Suddenly, Jarvis isn't the tool bag anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he is a tool bag.
Anyways, arrested on charges of fleeing at high speed, reckless driving, possession of a counterfeit license plate. Oh!
It was a fake plate?
Oh, it was a fake plate as well. Oh,
yeah, I don't know that the DMV can fit 7-8 letters on a...
WILLRUN.
Is there a space?
You know what? Michelle's going to get on me because this was a late addition to Morons in the News, and I didn't pre-read this one.
That's all
Good
right.
job, man.
Yeah. Listen, look, I do a lot of prep. I do a lot of pre-reading and highlighting. This I'm sorry if I f this one up.
I
Listen,
need you to take this job a little seriously. God, dude.
I'm only human, man. I'm allowed to make mistakes. All right, so I botched. Listen, I'm trying to correct it on the fly, but the will run license plate was a phony dummy plate. So maybe DMV will not.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the plate right now.
Yeah.
It's a little plastic one that you buy at a novelty store.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Hey, also, when it comes to motorcycles, and I learned this through my many ride-alongs with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, that you'll see, and it's not the Harley drivers, it's the crotch rocket guys. Something to look out for when you see the high horsepower, fast motorcycles. A lot of times the drivers, they'll bend the license plates up. So there's a tag there, but you can't see the actual plate because, many times they're like weaving, swerving, fast, reckless drivers. And also, if they do run from the cops don't have a license plate. So, and I remember there's a story that I told several times on the show. I was riding along out in Brandon, near Brandon Boulevard 60 and Kings. And I was with Steve Lewis, now retired, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And I was riding with Steve Lewis, and we're pulling up to an intersection. We're about 2 cars back, but up front, you had 2 motorcyclists that had kind of lane split, and they got to the front right by the front of the light near the stop bar, and both of them had license plates that were totally bent up, so you couldn't read the plates. And Steve said, see these 2 guys? They're going to run. And sure enough, they spotted the police unit, and they turned right onto Kings and fled at high speed, like 100 miles an hour. And so look out for motorcycles that have the plates bent up. That is deliberate, so you can't see the license plate. So Will Run was a phony novelty plate.
No, I want one of those.
Yeah.
And if you don't run and you have that plate, you're a poser.
And by the way, the story says that the teenage 19-year-old motorcycle reckless dude, that he fled from multiple agencies. Port Orange Police Department, New Smyrna Police Department, Ormond Beach Police Department, Edgewater Police Department, South Daytona Police Department,
I mean, there's
Volusia Sheriff's Office.
Sure as hell ran.
They're small little municipalities. He's zipping through at 100 miles an hour.
Good for him.
140.
Don't say good for him, you dummy. What are you talking about?
He lives by the license plate, bro. You got to show some respect.
Don't say good for him. Get out of here.
If his license plate said "will stop" and he stopped, would you be upset about that?
Will comply. Will be law-abiding.
Will listen.
That might not fit on the plate. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Speaking of vehicles, Veterans Ford wants to be your Ford dealer.
Barbara Streisand.
7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. MJ here with Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, and we have an update, folks. Yes, Fester's like waving me off here.
I got to be excused for 30 seconds.
Why?
Froggy locked himself out of the
Oh,
building.
son of a... Really?
Yeah, he just called. He's calling us.
He went out to medicate and...
Yes.
Now he's calling... Look, he's calling me.
Yeah.
Hello?
Help me, I'm locked outside. Help! Help!
All right, I'm coming. Tell him I'm coming.
All right. Dude,
Somebody come get me!
yeah, all right. Fester is... All right. Fester is coming to get you, Froggy.
Hurry!
All right, hold on. Stay on the phone with me. Don't. This is like 911. Okay, listen. Calm down. Stay on the... Help is on the way. All right, stay on...
Oh,
stay,
God, that was awful.
Stay on the phone with me.
Oh, my God, that was
okay.
awful.
Have the units arrived? Hello?
What'd you say about my unit?
No, I asked if the rescue unit arrived.
No, they've been canceled. I'm here. I'm here.
No, Fester was the rest. Froggy on my speakerphone on my cell phone.
God. That hallway is horrifying.
Dude, why did you get locked out?
Well, I went downstairs to get some stuff from my work.
Yeah, sure. You went out to medicate.
No way, I got my computer right here, and I forgot my wallet. And I was, and in that hallway is like being in a haunted house.
You know what?
Yeah, it stinks in there.
It's
know what?
horrible. It's scary. It's dark.
Guess
it's
what?
dingy.
Fester, get him a lanyard. You know, you need to be the...
I don't want no stupid lanyard.
You need to be that employee that has
Like Fester.
Oh, like Fester.
I have mine every day. My key's in the office door right now. But yeah, I wear lanyards for everything.
You need
Use two of them. I have a car key lanyard.
Hold this up to MJTV.
This is like your jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah. This lanyard here, you see it around my neck a lot of times on MJTV, the USF Bulls one. I have my Beasley Media.
Do you have your ID on there and your key card? No, you don't.
It's in the office.
Oh, okay.
Because I keep the office key on the back of it, so it's in the keyhole in the office right now.
But you know the folks at work that they've got the lanyard.
Yeah.
They've got their key card for the door. They've got their employee ID.
Dude, I am all
Losers.
lanyards. I don't carry keys in my pocket. I carry them around my neck. And you know who told me that?
Who that?
Dr. Mark.
Who?
Because
Dr. Mark, my good friend,
Yes.
who's the spine surgeon, because you had all of your crap in your back pocket and you had an asinine, massive, like brick-sized wallet that was putting pressure when you sat on it. Even though you got a very your butt is flat. You're a fat guy with a flat butt.
And he said, he goes, you have some
Fat guy with a flat butt. Fat guy with a flat butt.
So anyway, listen, I had like sciatic pain, and I went to see Dr. Mark, and he's like, he looks at me up and down, and he goes, all right, here's my medical diagnosis. You are very fat, and you have no ass padding, and you carry a wallet. He asked to see my wallet, and I held it out. He goes, that's your problem. Stop carrying your wallet.
Did he start singing? Fat guy with a flat butt.
Boom, boom, boom. So, so he's like, listen, if you stop carrying a wallet in your back pocket, your hips will feel a lot better. And I stopped. I don't carry a wallet anymore. I've literally stopped carrying cash on me. And he says, your keys too. So I carry my keys around my neck and my wallet. I don't even carry one anymore.
Good for you.
Roxanne, we have breaking news. We have an update, apparently. Here's the latest from the American Contemporary Network. And Roxanne, you have new information about the creepy salon stalker touchy-feely guy?
Yeah, the touchy-feely guy. Remember we talked to Amy Pat George's wife a couple of days ago about it?
Yep.
And he'd actually gone into her salon, and she got him out of there.
Now, for those that don't know the story, we spent time on this. Was it earlier this week? Was it Monday?
It was either Monday or Tuesday. It wasn't yesterday.
Yeah, well, yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, I think it might have been Monday this week.
Yeah.
It was Monday. And there's this guy that has been going to local salons, hair salons, from Carrollwood down to South Tampa in Hillsborough. And this dude who has identified himself as, was it Danny? I think on the video he said
Danny.
Yeah, he said his name was Danny. And one of the salon workers, a female working alone in a salon, he walks in and starts touching her and like grabbing her wrists and arms and like
posing her body in weird ways,
like trying to exercise her arms. And it was just weird. And then like starts like hugging her or putting his hands around her waist. Just weird. And then it's come out that this guy has been going to salons all over the Tampa area, walking in and just acting really creepy.
Yeah. And so he did it, like I said, at her salon. She got him out of there.
Yeah, folks, Pat George, the guy that does our traffic reports, his wife owns a salon. And this creepy dude went into her salon as well. And it's just weird. This has actually picked up some national attention, actually worldwide attention, because the video of him weirding out salon workers, there's at least one that I've seen. I think there might be some multiple ones, but at least one has made the rounds on social media and has been seen worldwide. And he's being called the Tampa Salon Creep.
That's a good name for him.
That's a great name for it.
The Tampa Salon Creep. And it says his name is Danny, but Roxanne with an update. Now, where did you get this update?
I got this update straight from Amy George, Pat's wife.
All right. So what is the update on this guy?
The update is they found out a little bit more about him. He is a local guy. He actually went to Sickles High School, according to her friend, and he was doing that kind of stuff when he was at Sickles High School. Like the touch, like the overstepping physical boundaries kind of deal.
So this guy's like a little sick that went to Sickles.
Ew.
So he put the sick in Sickles.
I put the sicko.
Put the sick.
Go sickos.
Put the sick in Sickles.
Wait a second. I need to look at a picture of him
Wait a
because
minute.
I'm thinking,
Yeah, there it is. This is
okay, I need to see his face.
I'll bring up the audio here,
De
Fester.
huevo. Since I'm teaching you Spanish, I'm going to teach
I know
you.
Spanish.
¿De dónde eres?
Mi esposo es mexicano.
Mexicano.
Sí.
Entonces,
And
diga,
says, "Do you
hermano.
speak Spanish?" And of course, the salon workers speak Spanish as well.
But he's
And
holding her hand.
holding her hand and like bending her wrist and arm, and it's just bizarre. It's I don't know.
It's invasive.
Yeah, damn right, it's invasive. All right, so hold on, Roxanne, your mind is spinning over there. What's
It
going
is,
on?
Because I was just thinking to myself, I had an encounter like this one time in front of a sandwich shop. And I was sitting outside, I was packing up my things, getting ready to go, and this guy came up to me and he grabbed my hand, started shaking my hand, and was like, nice to meet you, and touching my arm. And I was like, okay, like, he's super friendly, smile on his face, but then you're like, all right, get away from me. And I left, and now I'm like, wait a second, could that be the same guy? It might very well be.
So what?
Well,
caused-
look at the guy's face.
And this was near Sickles High School. I mean, obviously he's got a range from South Tampa to North Tampa in terms of the salons he goes into. But now that I think about it,
It could have been this
I
guy.
think it could have been this guy.
Well, look at his face. I mean, does he look familiar? Does he look similar?
Yeah, I don't remember the baldness, but I think he may have had a baseball cap on.
Did he speak in Espanol to you?
So
He was, yeah, he didn't speak in Spanish, but he was, yeah.
He's not speaking Spanish
No.
to the hairdresser either.
This video clip from a camera and audio inside a Tampa salon, this thing goes on for close to 6 minutes. I can't believe that this salon worker, that this woman allowed this guy to like pose her like a Barbie doll and moving her arms and wrists.
Probably scared.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to remember. I was pretty firm with him. You guys know me. And so I was like, get away from me. But this woman is inside a building, so she's got to get him out of the building.
Tell you what, this is a good reason why you should be armed with like pepper spray or
Yeah.
or a taser. She
this
should have
isn't
just whipped out a taser. Tase this guy.
Feel this, bub.
Yeah.
Has Tampa police said anything about this guy?
I have not seen any,
Or
Hillsborough County Sheriff's
County,
Office,
yeah.
because he's roving from apparently up in Carrollwood.
Which would be the county.
Yeah, down Dale Mabry. So up in Carrollwood's going to be Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office territory. And then, once you cross over into the Tampa city limits, which is what, right around...
Waters?
Yeah, right. You see the sign, welcome to Tampa. So, I have not seen any official... I'm sure law enforcement is aware of this creep, but now we find out that apparently he went to Sickles High School. Do we know how old he is or when he graduated from Sickles?
Well,
I'd put him in like his low 30s looking
Yeah.
at him, just by sizing him up.
What a crazy, crazy story. So, update from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Now, I'm fascinated by, like, mystery safes. Do you remember, years ago, our good buddy Gary, who's now a lawyer, Gary was like a CENTCOM intelligence Navy intel guy. Then, as an adult, our buddy Gary went to law school. Now he's a successful practicing attorney. But years ago on the MJ Morning Show, he came across a safe. And this is like a big safe, like a big floor safe. Stood
I
about
was so excited about that.
Yeah,
And it was just...
And this is an old safe. This is, I think, a safe out of like the 1940s or 1950s. And he somehow came across this safe, brought it to the radio station, and I'll never forget this. Fester was in charge of getting the safe in, and you guys decide to drag it across the sales department floor, and you guys ruined like 35 feet of carpet just dragging this thing.
It was such a mistake.
We didn't notice till we were done.
Yeah.
So the mystery safe was brought into the building over on Gandy, our old facilities, and Fester ruins the carpet.
I cracked tiles.
It was just a mess.
I mean, it was awful.
Didn't we have to have like steps towing? Put it on a flatbed or something? What was? Do you remember that?
When we had it hauled to the radio station,
Right, the
it
safe.
was on a flatbed trailer. That was the only way to.
was
And then
huge.
they dumped it in the outside the lobby. Then you crack the tiles in the vestibule of the building on the sales side at the old radio studio on Gandhi, which is now abandoned. And then you ruined the carpet. Anyway, so it was the mystery safe. And I remember we had like an audio bite. It was like mystery safe. Remember that?
And we had a professional safe cracker.
Oh yeah, we brought in a safe crack. I have some music that kind of simulates the old mystery. It was like this. It was mystery safe, mystery safe, and Fester arranged to get a locksmith safe cracker in. This whole big operation was like weeks of anticipation, building this thing up. What is in this 1940s safe? And then the safe gets cracked open, and the freaking thing is empty. There's not even.
Could it be more empty? It was like nothing.
It was not even dust inside. It was
Just like factory perfect.
like nothing was in the damn thing. So the mystery safe. All right, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm fascinated by safes. I like safes. Old safes with the little turn thing and the tumbler and the click, 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 click. I love safes. Well, this happened up in North Carolina yesterday, and I guess there's no explanation for this, or at least as of my research on it, I don't have an update. But up in Knightdale, North Carolina, police had to stop traffic on the interstate because a safe was found on the side of the road.
Oh man!
Just after noon yesterday, fire crews from Wendell, North Carolina, spotted the safe, and they called the Wake County Sheriff's Office. Fire crews said people were going after the money as it blew around. So the safe was on the side of the road, the door was open, and money was blown. Why couldn't that have happened with the mystery safe?
No kidding.
After you ruined the carpet, caused thousands in damage, cracked tile, and there was nothing in our safe.
If it was like an expensive antique in there or something, at least they would have felt a little better about it.
Yeah, here's a safe on the side of the road up in North Carolina. Open, and money is blowing out of the safe all over the road. People were stopping their cars to grab the loot, and the police had to shut the road down because of the money blowing on the road and people trying to grab the money. Yeah. By mid-afternoon yesterday, the Wake County Sheriff's Office up in North Carolina had the safe in their possession, and they were trying to track down the owner. What happened? Why is there a damn safe on the side of the road? That's just insanity. 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Is there a little conspiracy brewing with Baker Mayfield? He had his presser yesterday. So something that I observed with Baker Mayfield, what is going on here? Maybe you guys can set me straight, but I've got a question about Baker Mayfield yesterday. Also, Froggy called me a mental patient. On my Instagram feed. I'd like to discuss why you called me a mental patient. All right, so we're loaded. That's just scratching the surface. We've got an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I don't. 6:26, rolling up on 7:27 here on a Thursday. Welcome, folks, to an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. We do it every morning around this time, 7:25, 7:26, somewhere in that vicinity. We start an hour and 20 minutes nonstop content. No music, no commercials, just nonstop entertainment here on the MJ Morning Show. No one does it for that long.
No way.
And do us a favor, as we always want to grow this program. If you know somebody new in town, or if anyone ever asks you, hey, what do you listen to in the morning? Make sure you tell them you listen and love the MJ Morning Show. So someone at work asks a question, please help us promote the MJ Morning Show. I've always asked folks, hey, if you can tell 3 people a day, all right, if that's too much, then, 3 people a week. Tell everyone you come in contact with to listen to the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, and that would be highly appreciated. Hey, little piece of business here quickly. Andrew just told me that one of our MJ TV YouTubes was yanked down by those sons of... Andrew, which day? Which MJ Morning Show was yanked off the platform by YouTube for some kind of violation? What day?
I believe it was the 12th.
So that would have been Tuesday. And do you have an inkling? Do you know why? Or what? Why do you think... Hold on, Fester, why do you think? Why?
Wasn't that the day we talked about Eric Cartman dying?
It's not Eric Cartman.
From South Park?
from South Park.
Dude, it's Eric Carmen.
My apologies.
Not Eric Cartman.
They're so similar. I'm sorry.
It's an easy mistake.
From South Park.
My apologies.
Eric... Who can do an Eric Cartman voice?
I don't watch that show.
I haven't watched it in a while, but it was
dude,
hey, Cal.
Michelle, my lovely wife, Michelle loves South Park.
It's funny. I mean, I remember it being funny. I just haven't seen it in years.
I mean,
it is, and they run it on Comedy Central all the time. So you can find episodes, or and a lot of the streaming services, or some of the streaming services have South Park as well. Yeah, Eric Carmen. Let's see, I can't play it again. Well, if I play the music again, then YouTube will yank it. Here's what happens.
Well, I thought they just gave you you can't monetize it or whatever. Like they gave you like a little, copyright.
Listen,
I mean, if you do it enough, we play a lot of music.
We don't play. What are you saying?
During the show, we play a lot of audio.
He's talking about
not
to accompany the show.
Not during our break. That's why our commercials are grayed out and muted. Like if you can watch MJTV while we're in commercial break, there's a gray haze over the screen.
Right.
And there's no audio, or there's is there a music bed underneath
I think there's some crappy music that plays or something.
But it's like royalty-free
some kind
music.
of royalty-free junk music.
Right.
Yeah. So the reason why we don't play the commercials over, because there are also agreements with the unions, and if there are national spot, it's a whole mess. So sometimes if you play a clip of music, the YouTube algorithm, the computer picks it up and it'll yank your material. So apparently our Tuesday MJ Morning Show, MJ TV, was yanked down by YouTube because that was the day that we had the news that, hold on, was it? Yeah, I guess it was Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. He died on Monday.
He died over the weekend.
It says died on the 11th.
Right.
What day was the 11th?
The 11th was...
Sunday?
Was 12, 13... No, I guess... hold on.
I mean, we just track forward.
I can't do it. The 11th was Monday. So the family, I think, announced on Tuesday. I remember the family announcement, and of course, Eric Carmen, make me lose control, hungry eyes. Yeah,
that was awful.
I'm so sorry.
Hungry eyes.
Well, I can't play the freaking music because YouTube will yank us again. They're going to yank it down if I play the music. So that is our best guess on why YouTube canceled and removed our Tuesday MJTV, because we played a few clips of Eric Carmen, not Cartman.
My apologies again to the family.
I saw the announcement earlier this week when the family said it was like Monday, like late afternoon or something, that he had died over the weekend, that he died in his sleep over the weekend.
They just left his body there till Monday.
Yeah. Well, so we talked about it Tuesday morning and played some Eric Carmen music, and apparently the YouTube algorithm police didn't like it and considered a copyright infringement, so they yank our whole freaking show.
Crazy.
Yeah, anyway.
Lame.
So there we go. Some internal problems here at the MJ Morning Show. 7:32. Froggy called me a mental... What exactly did you call me? You said I'm a mental patient.
I'm just so tired of your dumb Instagram antics.
Instagram antics.
You're tired of my dumb Instagram antics.
It's like you're degenerating.
I'm degenerate. What, I'm regressing?
Yeah, you're regressing.
You've got degenerative IG disease.
It's like you're turning into a man-child.
Are you talking about the pothole?
Yeah.
That was his response. Because
It's just when if I watch a video that makes me feel
Sorry for the
douche chilly.
yeah.
Dude, what?
You get douche chills on your arms.
All right, listen. Well, if I talk about it,
like I'm watching something very douchey and I got chills from it.
Now
Is that the opposite of like goosebumps? Like
Yeah,
good
douche
goosebumps?
douche chills.
Is the opposite of goosebumps.
I shot a quick little video because of a pothole in my neighborhood, and during the day it's not an issue, but it was dark one night during my daily walk, my little 2-mile walk, which I do weekdays. And on one of the streets in my neighborhood, there's a pretty significant pothole in front of someone's house. And I was walking in the dark and I didn't see the pothole, and I walked in it and I twisted my ankle. I'm like, oh, son of a, I mean, typically, I can bounce right back. It was nothing prolonged, but I for 30, 40 seconds, I'm like, son of a, ouch. And I stepped in this pothole in the street. And the other day, this was Tuesday, so the same day those sons over at YouTube yanked our show off. So I'm walking in the neighborhood, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shoot a video on this regarding the pothole and see how long it takes for the city of Tampa to come out and fill this pothole. So I shot a video, and I called the city of Tampa. So during my walk, I did a quick little Google search for pothole road repair phone number, city of Tampa, and it came up on my Google search. And I get the phone number for the, and of course it was like 7:00 at night. So it's, with the daylight saving time in effect now, it's still light out because sunset's not till like 7:45, 7:50 right now. And of course it starts rolling later and later as the spring and summer progresses. So I call the city of Tampa, the pothole and road repair hotline, and I left a message. And I shot a little video regarding the message that I left. And I even shot video of the pothole that I had previously twisted my ankle in. And Froggy calls me a mental patient.
I don't think people would disagree.
Dude, you wrote on a comment on this particular post. Now, this is on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. And I didn't mention this on the air yesterday. I just said that I put something about Instagram. It's kind of an experiment. But obviously now I'm broadcasting it even greater than just my Instagram feed. So clearly, some folks in the city of Tampa are going to hear about this. So here is the audio of the video that I shot, and this precipitated Froggy to call me a mental patient. I want you to see this pothole. See this? I mean, it's pretty deep. And actually, when I'm walking and it's dark out, I've actually stepped in that and twisted my ankle. I just called the city of Tampa, the pothole reporting line, and I just left them a message. Ow! Oh my God! I just fell in a pothole. I'm on the ground. My ankle is twisted. I've broken it. Help! Help! Fix the pothole! And then I left the address of the house where the pothole is located. So let's see how long it takes for them to fix the pothole. An experiment. You know, it was pretty incredible. Do you know how many people responded with, you should have used the Milton Fludgecow voice?
I just got chills.
What?
What kind?
Oh, douche chills.
Douche chills, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So numerous people,
All over.
numerous folks responded with a comment, you should have used Milton Fludgecow, call up oh, thank God you've answered. I'm in a pothole right now. It's on so-and-so road. And I gave, on the message, I gave the exact address of the house where the pothole is in front of. Anyway, the video is up. If you want to see this thing, I twisted my ankle like a month ago when it was still dark when I was walking. Yeah, and I shot this when it was light out, even though it was like 7 o'clock at night because of daylight saving time and the clock's going ahead. So if you want to see the video and read the comments and see Froggy call me a mental patient.
I think you all will agree. He's getting kind of crazy. Grandpa's going kind of nuts.
Yeah. Andrew just asked if the neighborhood has sidewalks. It's very sporadic. So this particular street in the section of this, no sidewalks. These are older homes. And you know what's also bizarre? Some neighborhoods, newer neighborhoods, or some neighborhoods that even older, that there are sidewalks. Where I am in South Tampa, it's very sporadic. And
even in the video, you can see a house with a sidewalk and no sidewalk right next to each other.
Yeah. So some of the new houses, they require the builders to put in sidewalks. So you have these sidewalks to nowhere. And it's seriously, it's bizarre. So you'll have like 200 yards of houses and no sidewalk. And then you have one house with 60 feet of sidewalk and it just dead ends into somebody's grass. It's like a floating sidewalk to nowhere. It's really just bizarre.
I think Sidewalk to Nowhere would be a great song.
You like that?
Yeah.
Or a kid's book.
Yeah.
Sidewalk to Nowhere.
All right, so did you call the city of Tampa Fix It Fast line?
Yes, I called the road repair hotline.
I'm on their website.
Yeah.
They say that they will have it repaired on their website. If you leave the message, which you obviously did, within 72 hours.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Whoa. Now, I left this message at like 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. So 72 hours to Wednesday's 24 to Thursday tonight's going to be 48. So
hold on. Did you leave the address?
Yes.
Hold on. Screaming in pain.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're going to think it's fake.
No,
Yeah.
dude.
Ow, I'm in front of 1, 2, 3, 4 Oak Street.
And actually, I probably had more of a panicked screaming sound on the actual message that I left versus the reenactment on my Instagram. If you want to see the video, it's up on Certified MJ Radio. Give me a follow on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and it is let's see, which is it the second one?
I don't know.
I think it might be the second one.
Second one. I would forgive the city of Tampa if they did not respond to this lunatic on the line. You should call back straight and say, yes, I'd like to report a pothole in front of 1, 2, 3, 4 Oak Street. It's
the second image on my Instagram right now at Certified MJ Radio, and you can't miss it because I have a very painful, wretched face on.
These poor city of Tampa workers, they go, they check the messages.
Dude, I'm serious,
and
though.
Here's this guy, and I can picture the worker just looking at the recorder.
This guy.
I twisted my ankle in a pothole.
Click delete. I would delete it.
I bet you it's fixed by tomorrow.
You should call back today and leave a straight report.
Listen,
you didn't report it. You made a comedy segment out of it.
No, I did not.
You entertained yourself during your walk.
If anything, my phone call, how many calls did they get with people screaming in pain, saying they broke their ankle and they're on the ground? Oh, I said, I'm calling 911. I'm on the ground.
Yeah.
I've got my bone is sticking out. I did all kinds of stuff.
For all those reasons, that's why they deleted your call.
They did
call
not.
Back and say, hi, guys, I'd like to report a pothole.
They did not delete my call.
Thanks for everything. See you guys. Bye.
I'm a little concerned here. Moving along.
Yes.
All right. Segue. Moving along. I think Baker Mayfield's in distress. I think he might have signed the Bucs deal under duress. He might be drugged. They might have his family. Let me tell you why.
All right. Please lay this on a sports guy.
Talking trash.
Yeah, the guy's getting $50 million guaranteed. He was really under a lot of pressure.
$100 million deal, $50 million guaranteed. I think he might be. I think it might have been like a hostage video kind of deal. Let me tell you why. At the presser yesterday, Baker Mayfield was wearing a dark-colored black or dark blue baseball cap. Bring up the video. Take a look. Take a look. I think he's under duress.
Was he giving hand signals?
Yeah.
Well,
I know that when
let me tell you what happened.
Organizations throw tons of money at me. I'm usually very stressed out about it.
So here's some audio from the presser yesterday. It was 11 o'clock at the training facility. Baker Mayfield talking about his new deal to stay in Tampa Bay.
First, got to obviously thank the Glazier family, all the front office guys.
Hang on a second. Hold on here. What?
First, got to obviously thank the Glazier family.
It's not Glazier. It's just Glazer.
He wins a playoff game. You call him anything you want.
Well, tons of people, they call the Glazers the Glaziers.
Because it sounds like a donut and
No.
it just sounds more
I'm
delicious.
starving.
No, that's glazed. It's not a glazured donut.
Well, it sounds like an Arctic body of ice.
But a glazed donut. It's not a glazured donut. It's a glazed.
You don't know what I put on my donuts.
Damn right I don't.
Glazer juice?
But that's not what I'm trying to point out here. All right, Fester, you got the video?
No, I just have a still
All
frame.
right, that's
You said
fine.
Pull the picture.
All right, that's fine.
What does it say
If
on
you got a
his-
still, it says Tampa on his hat.
That's a style. That's a thing.
But wait a minute.
That's a thing.
It's upside down.
This has been a thing for a while.
I've never seen this before. I'm telling you, this is like the American flag. When you fly the American flag upside down, it's a signal of distress.
No.
He's got a Tampa upside down on his baseball hat. This is a sign of distress.
No.
Yes, he's distressed.
It's like an SOS type
Yeah.
deal.
Like a sign in the back seat when you're in the back seat of the car and someone's kidnapped you.
The Glazers are pumping him with sodium pentothal or something.
I want to say I think I've seen him wear the hat all season.
The first time I've ever seen this. But why do you have Tampa upside down? So, folks, he's wearing the baseball cap, and Tampa is written across, but it's upside down.
So they
why?
That's the logo. I think it's a brand called MJMT, and they make all kinds of cities
upside down.
Upside down.
Why?
Like here's a Seattle hat.
Why?
Here's the Bronx hat, and it's upside down.
Why do you want your city upside down?
I don't know. Is this your product, MJ, and you're sneakily acting like you don't know it?
No.
MJ,
I don't know if that's
I don't know what the T is.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so here's Baker.
First, got to obviously thank the Glazier family, all the front office guys, my agent, everybody that worked on this to get this done. As Jason mentioned last year, and truly the last few years of my career, a lot of ups and downs, and just to be able to have Emily by my side the whole time and see it through and have the opportunity to come here is a place that knows how to win from top down, and they do it well from the people that I talked to before even getting here. None of those words were a lie.
Emily, is that his wife? Is his wife Emily?
His wife
No,
is
it's
Emily.
girlfriend.
Emily. Is Baker being drugged? Is he under duress? Was he forced to sign this contract under duress? This $100 million deal?
Put your head in a bleeping vice, Baker.
With $50 million guaranteed. He's got a hat with Tampa upside down.
It's a style.
If you fly the American flag upside down, it's a signal. It's a distress signal.
If you fly the city of Tampa flag upside down, nobody would know. It's such a mess.
We made a good run there at the end, but I don't think any of our guys were set.
He sounds like he's being held hostage. Sounds like he was coerced.
It's a whole deal. It's a brand. And they have, it might be a local brand. I don't know. First time on their site, but they have Tampa.
God, that's so dumb and hipster. I hate it.
Tally, Berg,
upside
Duval.
down Tampa. I'm sorry that it just seems like it's some distress signal. Just pointing it out.
Let's put out a hat with MJ upside down.
Just distress you.
No?
What, because I distress you? Is that it?
Look, they have here's the Boston hat. Here's the New York City hat. Here's
What
Duval hat.
an easy way to.
I just don't get the whole upside. Just some kind of gimmick that someone came up with.
It's cool, man.
This is the worst sports take I've ever heard ever.
Wait, did you notice, like, were you also, you're like, listen, was there something in the tone of voice that we were supposed to listen for as well?
Yeah, I know.
Want to say hello to Rob Cantor and his son Harry. They listen every morning. I was out to dinner last night. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about this, but Chloe, I guess, is dating this new guy. Or
Oh, congrats, Chloe.
Actually, hang on a minute.
Dating
Actually,
the son of cancer.
well, hang on. No. Rob Cantor and Harry have nothing to do with Chloe's date. So here's the deal. Chloe, when she went to Shorecrest in 6th grade, there was a kid that came from the Netherlands or something. And a family moved from the Netherlands to St. Pete. The kid ends up at Shorecrest, where my kids went to school. And Chloe was friends with this boy in like 5th or 6th grade. I think, whatever it was somewhere around there. And they've kind of reconnected. And now they're kind of like, I don't know if they're officially dating or whatever. Anyway,
What is this, a Lifetime movie?
well, listen.
Yeah.
So we go to dinner last night. Michelle's like, let's go out to dinner. Let's kind of, meet the guy. And, Michelle was aware of him because, Michelle was pretty active at the school and, the classroom parent, whatever that stuff is.
His intentions have changed a little bit since 5th grade.
Yeah, I think you're probably
She
right.
loves a foreigner, huh?
So, well, here's the deal. So Chloe is kind of reconnected, and he's in town. Chloe just graduated college in December, so I don't know how they reconnected, but they've kind of been going out a little bit. So Chloe, said, "Hey, Dad, can we go to Cafe Paradiso for dinner?" So we booked Cafe Paradiso on South MacDill, great Italian restaurant. So we go to Cafe Paradiso last night. And while we're having dinner with this friend, date, I don't know what.
Do you approve? Do you approve of him?
He's a nice kid. He's a nice guy. So we go out to dinner at Cafe Paradiso, and we've been going there since We've been going. This is pretty interesting. We have been going there since they opened because we bought a house. Our first house that we bought, we rented for a year when we moved to Tampa from West Palm, and I got hired by the Power Pig, and we started MJ and BJ in 1994. We rented for the first year because I didn't know what was going to happen, and then after the first year, we bought a house over on Wallcraft and in South Tampa, and then Paradiso is right on the corner of Wallcraft and MacDill. So when we were moving in, like in March of 1995, a year after we got here, my parents were in town, and we were hungry. We were unloading boxes and setting up the house. And Michelle found this Cafe Paradiso right around the corner, and they had just opened up. So it's kind of interesting. We moved into our first house. We had our first meal from Paradiso, and, the relationship continues all these years later. So while we're at dinner last night, this guy comes up to the table and says, "Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, man, I met you years ago with Trent Dilfer at some event."
That was years ago.
It was. And he said, I've been listening to you ever since, and now my son loves the show. His son is like a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and they listen every single morning. And I told him I'd give him a shout out this morning about 7:45.
So the key is to interrupt Chloe, daddy, daughter, new boyfriend dates to get shout outs on the morning show.
Well, so good morning to Rob Cantor and his son Harry.
Good morning, Rob and Harry.
So we appreciate you listening. Fashion, don't have an attitude and a voice going on
Why
over
you
there.
gotta be like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Good
What's the
morning,
matter with you?
Rob and Harry.
Yeah, listeners for years. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I said good morning, Rob and Harry. So what's his name? Sven? Or what's a Dutch name?
I'm not. No, listen. I'm not giving out the.
Really? You're not giving out a name, huh?
You want to?
Not giving out a real name?
Ooh, just like you.
Privacy is important to you when it pertains to your children?
Has he shown Chloe his big windmill?
I'm gonna withhold the name for now. I don't even know if it's a real day.
I don't know.
I don't know what the story is.
Chloe, I'm just saying, it's a nice place we're going to tonight. How about you wear some wooden clogs?
Hey, speaking of eating out, speaking of dining, all right, the average American. I had this conversation with Michelle last night because I printed this story out, and then Michelle saw this in my prep pile last night because she's my official stapler.
Yes.
She grabs my wad of papers off the printer, and she like staples all my stories together.
Is that code for something?
No, it's not. There's no code there, Roxanne.
Yeah.
So I printed out a story last night. The average American spends over $2,500 a year eating out. Now, do you think that is a low number, an average number? Michelle, she said, I think that's kind of low for us.
A night?
Yeah.
What was that?
No, the average American spends over $2,500 a year.
Okay.
Eating out. This is a new survey.
You spend that in one dinner.
No, get out of here. We stop it. Recent survey of 2,000 American adults revealed that tighter budgets have made eating out these days less enjoyable, with almost a quarter, 23%, reporting the simple act of spending money on a meal is stressful these days. Well, listen, prices are going up everywhere. The restaurants are getting hit with higher food costs. The restaurants are getting hit with higher labor costs, higher insurance costs. Everything is going up everywhere. If you're feeling the pinch, then businesses and they're feeling the pinch as well. Prices are just going up everywhere. But I just thought it was interesting.
$2,500 a year.
That seems low. Even for the average American family, $2,500 a year eating out at restaurants.
Well, let's do it by how much that is a week. That's probably easier to figure out. And then, or put in a frame of reference. So
do you have a calculator?
$50
How many weeks
a
in a year?
It'd be about $50
a week? Yeah. I
So-
mean, I can't eat out with my kids for $50 practically. It seems with a family of four.
So
Seems low with as expensive as things are.
McDonald's these days, aren't a large fries at McDonald's close to $5 these days?
It ain't cheap.
So,
What do you say?
Said it ain't cheap.
Thank you.
dude, you want to talk about expensive? Last night, carry out pizza, Caesar, or Little Caesars, pizza.
Yeah, those were like $5.55.
Well, now they're like $6.99. Plus
Okay.
tax was like $15.70. I'm like, what the what?
We ate out the night before. You ate junk food the next day?
Well, pizza's not junk food. Pizza's a staple.
Yeah, pizza's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pizza, man.
Yeah. So the average average person spends more than $2,500 a year eating out. So is that like, if you have a family of four, is it $2,500 for? It doesn't delineate whether it's $2,500 for one person, or if it's you and your wife or you and your family.
Is that an average for all people?
Yeah. I'm just rolling out the facts here. Recent survey of 2,000 American adults. Now, the latest on the TikTok deal. Is TikTok going to be banned in the USA? Hi, I'm Casey Kasem, and now we're looking at TikTok. Is it going to be banned in the USA? Whenever I think of USA, just the way I said that, it just reminded me of Casey talking about the biggest hits in the USA.
I thought you were going to play this thing Born in the USA.
No.
Oh.
Could be banned in the USA.
That's really a dirge song, by the way.
Which one? Born in the USA?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it is dirgy.
It's actually the most anti-USA song out there, I think.
Well, TikTok being banned or forced to be sold to an American company is one step closer to reality, because the House of Representatives, where they can't agree on jack squat. I mean, the partisan politics in this country these days between Republicans and Democrats, I mean, they can't agree on anything. But guess what? The House of Representatives, first of all, there was a unanimous agreement in committee. So in the House Energy and Commerce Committee last week, they voted 50-0, no dissenters, no votes, to push this bill forward that ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, a Chinese company, would have to sell TikTok or be banned in the United States. So that got out of committee with Democrats and Republicans unanimously voting 50-0. Then it hit the full House for a vote yesterday, and the vote was 352 to 65. So, I mean, overwhelmingly passed. Again, bipartisan. Nothing happens bipartisan these days, and this did, because of the concern that TikTok is a national security threat. It's a Chinese company. They turn all of their data over to the Chinese Communist government. They can track. There are cases. A report from, I think, the Wall Street Journal, like 6 months ago or 8 months ago, or maybe it's even longer, about how there was intel that the Chinese government was using TikTok data to track some Americans. Now, who were they tracking? All right. Also, when you have the TikTok app, they have all your data profile. They can get into your phone. They can get into your address book, your text. They can just pretty much crawl through all the data on your phone. It is absolutely a Trojan horse spy operation from the Chinese Communist government that has a goal to take down the United States of America. That's it. They have all kinds of bugs. They have all kinds of infrastructural incursions. They have probably little time bombs and poison pills inside our power grids. They've looked at all kinds of electronic warfare as well as conventional warfare. The Chinese communist government, I've got nothing against the Chinese people, but the Chinese communist government is a threat to the United States. And we've had 170 million Americans essentially open up a door to allow the Chinese communists into their lives through TikTok. The other issue is it's propagandizing. What are you laughing at?
Well, when you said into their lives, I thought of foreign exchange students.
But also the propaganda and being like, for instance, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, there's been a lot of propaganda that has been pushed by TikTok, and that's a way to sway minds. And in a time of war, in a time of a national event, the concern is also how they can try to pump propaganda into people's heads. And it's been seen with anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian propaganda on TikTok. The other concern is TikTok pushed their followers to call their congressman to complain about a potential ban and even show up on the steps of Capitol Hill. And look at what they were able to do. They were able to mobilize Americans. So you got the Chinese Communist government that can potentially mobilize Americans. So this is a big concern. And it is absolutely a national security threat. I've been saying this for well over a year. I've never had TikTok on my phone. I do not have a TikTok account.
You won't even eat Tic Tacs.
No. I'll eat Tic Tacs.
What about Tiki Tacky? Do you?
He stays away from all clocks.
Look at me. I'm just like, shut that off. It reminds me of the Chinese government.
You guys, make fun of me.
Get rid of all the cuckoo clocks.
Go ahead, take a jump.
Duck.
Stop it. But that's where things stand. So the House overwhelmingly passed. Now it's going to be a little tougher in the Senate. But, again, what's going to happen? And then Biden, the president, says that he'll sign it. So
sign it. Come on, man.
A year ago, Trump was totally against TikTok. Trump was like, ban it. And now Trump has flip-flopped. I don't know whether he's getting paid. I have no idea what's going on here. But Trump did a total flip-flop because he was for a total ban and talked about the security risk. And now Trump says, no, that's fine. Nothing changed. It's an absolute threat. All right, so that's the latest on the TikTok situation. Now, PETA, are they kidding me? PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And listen, I am an animal lover. I believe in obviously treating animals ethically. However, I do like steak. I do like chicken. I do like eggs. But listen to this. Speaking of Washington and politics, PETA wants the White House to cancel egg usage at the Easter egg roll and use potatoes instead.
Yeah, that's overstepping their boundaries.
Yes, Froggy, you heard me correctly.
Potatoes is an Irish thing, right?
No,
and like a major U.S. crop.
Yes.
Ooh, let me get technical.
Hey, eggs are an Irish thing too. Will we go into what?
Don't they use fake eggs anyway?
Hold on, what are you thinking of the great Irish potato famine of the 1860s?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Hey, Andrew, what was the potato famine? 1850s, 1860s? Yeah, no, we've got a state called Idaho that's very famous for potatoes.
Never heard of it.
Also, in Maine. Do you know 1840s was the potato famine.
yes.
But did you know Maine is a massive potato growing state as well?
What kind of potatoes do they do? Russet potato? What's their specialty?
Sweet.
I don't know, but all I know is that Maine grows a shitload of potatoes. I'll tell you that. So listen to this. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, they sent a letter that was just kind of obnoxious, and it was like dripping with stupid puns.
I love PETA puns.
They sent a bunch of puns in a letter to Jill Biden, the First Lady, and they want the White House to be respectfully cognizant of the dilemma and, eggs which come from animals and, PETA. I mean, aren't they mostly vegan at PETA? So PETA said that they want to suggest an appealing way, APPEELING. See, it's all kinds of stupid pun words. To modernize the White House Easter egg roll, which is set for April 1st on the south lawn of the White House. Quote, instead of promoting the deleterious factory farming and slaughter industries, will you please initiate the annual White House potato roll? This letter came from PETA President Ingrid Newkirk. She sounds like a lot of fun at parties. What do you think?
I mean, keep her away from the steak tartare. I bet she is.
Or a pig roast for the Rotary Club. Yeah, she might not show up to that. A potato roll, she says, wouldn't exploit any sentient beings and would encourage empathy and kindness to animals while supporting potato farmers. Potatoes are the most popular vegetable in the country and can be safely dyed, allowing for spudtacular traditional activities such as rolling them, seeking for them.
I don't need the whole PETA press
decorating them.
Yeah.
You could even hold a potato sack race and games of hot potato.
Okay, thank you, Ingrid.
You know what? Potatoes make me think of hash browns, which are delicious, which makes me think of hash browns and eggs and bacon. So you can't do potatoes without their accompaniments.
Ingrid, why don't you zip it?
So now PETA wants the White House to cancel egg usage for the Easter egg roll and use potatoes instead. Hey, Pete Davidson. Hey, Pete, do you have any thoughts on PETA?
Hi, my name's Pete Davidson. This message is for Daphna. Thank you so much for making comments publicly that I didn't adopt a dog. I just want to let you know I'm severely allergic to dogs, so I have to get a specific breed. I'm only not allergic to Cavapoos and those type of dogs. And my mom's dog, who's 2 years old, died a week prior, and we're all so sad, so I had to get a specific dog. So why don't you do your research before you create news stories for people, because you're a boring, tired you, and suck my
End of message.
Wow.
That was Pete Davidson because he got a designer dog that was like hypoallergenic.
A Cavapoo?
Whatever the hell. It was a Cavalier.
Big deal.
He got one of these, hybrid designer dogs, and then PETA put out a statement that Pete Davidson should have, gotten a shelter dog, and then Pete Davidson left that message on the voicemail of PETA.
That was great.
Oh, QVC's in a little bit of hot water. Tell me if you think this is worthy. Home Shopping is probably saying, "Oh man, I'm glad QVC did this."
Aren't they one company now?
I don't
know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. My apologies.
No, Home Shopping.
Spout now.
Yeah, because the
Stupid,
TV,
nonsensical facts,
the TV
man.
live sales business, I'm sure, is just gangbusters these days.
So Home Shopping Network is based here in the Tampa Bay area. Actually, right near our facilities here in St. Pete at 4th and Gandy. They're not far away from here, right? So this is not Home Shopping. This is QVC. They're based up in, I think, like Westchester, Pennsylvania, the Rolling Hills. So QVC put out an email to, I guess, their email list of shoppers promoting an item. And I don't know if there were complaints or if media just made a big deal out of this. home shopping company QVC had to issue an apology yesterday to customers, Asian female customers in particular.
Oh, God.
And they vowed that they were going to...
Let me guess. Do better.
Yes.
Oh, that's always the cop-out line.
Through their DEI team. You know what the DEI team is? Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Good.
Now, what happened? What did QVC put in an email that apparently torqued some people off and is totally insensitive?
Specifically Asian women?
Yes, specifically Asian women. You know, I would love to speak with Asian women to find out if you find this offensive. Here's what it is.
Did it involve driving?
No.
Okay.
All right. So this is a marketing email containing offensive language. They had a subject line in the email blast trying to sell crap that went out to customers, and the subject line in the email box read, "You'll love this bag long time." See, I'm like doing an accent here because, I mean, it's like the power to suggestion. But the email said, "You'll love this bag long time." So people translated that into, "Me love you long time."
All right.
And, of course, there's that famous scene from
Full Metal Jacket.
The Stanley, what was that, 1987, 88? The Stanley Kubrick film, Full Metal Jacket. You've got the scene with the two soldiers.
In Vietnam.
It's Vietnam, and the Vietnamese prostitute is trying to, hook these potential Johns here. And, of course, here's, the audio from the movie.
Hey, baby! You got girlfriend, Vietnam? Not just this minute. Yeah. Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time. You party? Yeah, we might party. How much? $15? $15 for both of us. No, each you $15. Me love you long time. Me so horny. $15 to buku. $5 each.
All right, so
Tubuku line.
What movie?
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah,
it's Full Metal Jacket.
Which that was.
Yes.
That was released in 1987. I
Yep.
was trying to see what came first, that or the Two Live Crew
No,
song.
Two Live Crew's after
They
because
took that.
Two,
That's the clip. they
Two
took.
Live
Yeah,
Crew
yeah.
samples that.
I never knew that.
I wasn't aware that Two Live Crew sampled that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have
Wow.
multiple
Well.
samples in that song.
Hey, Joker.
Hey,
You can even hear Nancy Sinatra. If you listen carefully, you can
Boots
hear
Are Made for Walking?
you can hear "Boots Are Made for Walking," which is used in in Full Metal Jacket. You can hear it. Anyway, do we have any Asian women that are listening that find this offensive?
was it
That-
an Asian-inspired purse?
No, it was apparently not. It was just there's
So somebody missed the A.
I don't
You
know.
will love this purse a long time.
Or if they were thinking of "Me love you long time." So the subject line and Andrew's saying that QVC and HSN are now the same damn company.
I thought I heard that. Yeah.
Well, Fester was right.
So
Fester blows a lot of stuff out of his butt. Sometimes it's accurate.
Sometimes.
I blow stuff out of my butt long time. Long time.
So the email subject line read, "You'll love this bag long time." And it was the QVC today's special value item.
Somebody didn't hit an A. You'll love this bag a long
Or
time.
were they thinking of me so horny, and were they thinking of "Love You Long Time" when they wrote it?
If it were little statues of soldiers in Vietnam, then yeah, I would say a baby. But no, it's a
Fester.
purse.
The QVC president is Mike Fitzharris, and they immediately went into damage control mode. They issued an apology to customers,
Great.
noting
on.
that such language is offensive to the Asian community. If you're Asian, I would love to hear from you right now. If you are an Asian listener if you're an Asian female or an Asian male, I'd love to get a bunch of females calling in. But if you are an Asian listener, what are your thoughts on this ad, this email blast trying to sell some kind of handbag? You'll love this bag long time. Do you find that to be racially insensitive, and are you offended by this? Here's the number: 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So if you're I'd love to hear from you. Comments on this. What are your thoughts? 800-990-1047.
Between QVC and TikTok, this is a very Asian-centric show today.
At least they didn't do me play joke, me put pee-pee in your Coke. At least they didn't do that in the email. Remember?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use it.
What was that T-shirt?
The one that MJ had?
Oh,
Amber.
Oh yeah. It was from I think it was from Abercrombie and Fitch.
Two Wongs make a right?
It was two Wongs.
It was a laundry service.
It was a phony laundry service T-shirt that Abercrombie and Fitch was selling, and it was like two Wongs can make it white, and it was like the Wong brothers laundry.
That's offensive.
Yeah, and remember they pulled that shirt, and I actually have one. I have a pristine shirt, brand new, because we convinced an Abercrombie and Fitch employee to sell us a shirt, but they had already pulled them and they were in the back to be destroyed. And they actually, I have one put away, never worn, brand new. It's probably worth $30,000-$40,000 today.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so they go into damage control mode. If you're Asian, I would love to hear from you on this story. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Are you offended by QVC's email selling a handbag? You'll love this bag long time. Earlier today, you received a marketing email for our today's special value, according to the president's letter, that used derogatory language that's offensive, particularly to the Asian community and women. In the subject line, as the president of QVC, I'm personally sending this email because I want to apologize deeply that this happened. It's a letter that went out from the QVC president. They apologized, called it offensive. Whoever wrote that, do you think they're still employed at QVC or whoever?
I don't know.
All right. Phones have lit up here with our valued Asian American listeners. Rachel is in Plant City. Rachel, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Rachel, you are Asian, correct?
Correct, 100%.
All right, what is your ethnicity? What type of Asian are you?
I'm Korean.
Gotcha. And what are your thoughts on this controversy?
I think when I was younger, I used to go dancing a lot back in the 80s and 90s, or actually it was in the 90s when that song came on, and I was on the dance floor, and every time I'd hear that song, I'd kind of feel a little strange. It's like a stigma, but it didn't really bother me. But then again, it just gives me that stigma of what people would think that Asians are like that.
So, Rachel, how do you feel about this QVC? Do you think this is controversial? Does this bother you that they put out an email blast and the subject line was, "You'll love this bag long time"?
No, I don't really find that offensive, to be honest. I mean, maybe when I was younger, I probably would find everything offensive because I was adopted when I was very young, so I didn't know much about my Asian culture as I do now. But no, I honestly don't think that particular quote would offend me right now.
Have you been back to Korea?
No, I would like to, though. I would like to one day.
Yeah, I've got a very good Korean friend, and we went to his son's wedding in Seoul back in 2008. And I'm telling you, Seoul is an incredible city. That's when I went to the DMZ.
That's right.
And I actually stepped into North Korea at Panmunjom at the DMZ. Rachel, thanks for listening to the MJ Morning Show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day.
You too. All right, Andrea is in Tampa. Asian female. Andrea, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
I love your show, MJ. I saw you on West Shore the other day. Filming the traffic.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's awesome.
Andrea, you saw me in the middle of the intersection on.
I was worried about your safety.
That's so funny.
Andrea, did you wave or yell anything or honk your?
Hey, Schmidt! I was so shocked to see you.
All right, Andrea, hold on. All right, so what Andrea's talking about?
Oh my God, so funny! I thought when you said that, I thought of that whole thing 3 or 4 times since you've said it.
All right,
That's so funny.
Here, let me explain. We'll go back to QVC and me love you long time in just a second. But Andrea, what she saw me walking in the thin little median strip, videoing the traffic at about 5:30, 5:45. Was it earlier was it this week? Or was it last week? Oh no, it was last week.
Friday or something. You talked about it on Monday.
Yeah, so here's the deal. The Beach Park Homeowners Association is very concerned, and one of my good friends is very active, and he's a real estate attorney, and there's a concern over what's happening at West Shore Plaza. Now, West Shore Plaza has a massive redevelopment plan to eventually knock down the entire place and build this very dense town center, including close to 3,000 apartments where West Shore Plaza stays. So a whole mixed use, like a whole town center, 3,000 apartments, then box stores, restaurants. They want to put a mini hospital, physical therapy facility there. I mean, really a massive, massive development. And the issue is that the Beach Park Homeowners Association is not opposed to the project. In fact, I think it'll make the area nice. I mean, they are not opposed to this massive West Shore Plaza redevelopment. So they'll do it in phases. And according to the master plan, at some point the whole place gets leveled. But first I think they're going to do mixed family or apartments, but 3,000 units or so.
Are they going to knock down Maggiano's?
Yeah, eventually all that's going to be. All that's going to be.
Really?
Yeah, all that's going to be replaced if their master plan goes through.
Oh, you better use your gift certificate.
So, no, but and again, when they rebuild, they'll have maybe new deals with tenants. But this is a plan that goes into 2027, 28, 20. This goes far out. So and they've got tenants with long leases, for instance. So here's the deal: the Beach Park Homeowners Association, which is about 1,300 homes, not opposed to the project. The problem is the traffic. That they don't have a plan to widen roads or put in acceleration or deceleration lanes to get into this massive new project. And if you look at the traffic, for instance, at West Shore and Kennedy at 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, it is jammed and backed up. So I was out there with my friend who's active in the Homeowners Association, and I volunteered to walk in traffic at 5:30 at 5:45 to video how bad the traffic is. And you got this right now West Shore Plaza is a failed mall. It's had its day. It's had its day. It's a failed mall, and the traffic is already nasty in that West Shore Kennedy area during rush hours. What's it going to be like when you redo the whole place and you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of more people, including permanent residents, trying to get in and out during morning drive and afternoon drive? So there has to be provisions. They've got to work with the city, got to work with FDOT and figure it. So, Andrea, that's why you saw me walking in traffic last week.
Yes, I was surprised, but love your show. And back on the topic.
Yeah. Now, Andrea, what is your Asian ethnicity?
I'm of Chinese descent.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about the subject line for QVC, "You'll love this bag long time"?
Like the previous caller, I may have been offended when I was a child or a teen. but I've grown such a thick skin because I went to a high school where there were 1,500 students and I was the only Asian. So it does not bother me one bit.
All right.
I think people who are bothered are overreacting.
Do you think it was even malicious or just an innocent mistake by a big company?
I think maybe they let an intern or a younger person do the ad. And by the way, I love the song.
Oh, wait a second.
You're amazing.
Hold on. You love Two Live Crew? Andrea, you love the song?
It's got a great beat.
It does. Who doesn't love that song? Who doesn't move when you hear that song?
Exactly.
All right.
So anyway, I got to go to work.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Andrea,
Love you.
thank you for listening. We love you too. Have a great day.
Love you.
Thank
Love
you.
you, Andrea.
Look at this. We clearly demonstrate that we cover all ethnicities here on the MJ Morning Show. When we ask for, if we have certain stories and we ask for, certain ethnicities to call in and comment.
Remember that time we had that Eskimo story and they just lit the phone lines up?
Anyway, I don't know. I think QVC is like, I think they're panicking and they went into a little bit of a damage control mode where, I don't know, was it that bad? I mean, that's the question. So 2 Asian women just said that "Me love you long time," a reference with "You'll love this bag long time" that QVC was selling, that it didn't bother them at all. There you go. 2 Asian women right off the bat.
All right.
Here on the MJ Morning Show. Roxanne, you're going to be closest to this story, so I am particularly interested in your thoughts on this.
Okay.
A woman is saying that she made her friend angry, made her friend cry, upset her friend because her friend just had a baby and she showed up to visit the friend with the new baby in a tight, skimpy outfit, and the friend started crying, said, "You're rubbing it in," because she was thin and skinny, and the mother that just gave birth obviously, put on all kinds of baby weight. Is that valid? Is that valid?
I'm just imagining none of my friends, they would be wearing tight, skimpy stuff even after they had the baby, so they wouldn't care. So it's hard to imagine that, because I don't think any of my friends do. But then again, if I'm going to go see a baby, I'm probably just going to wear regular clothes unless I'm like on my way to a nightclub. But then I would have to have time traveled back to, the 2000s, early 2000s.
This
you
woman
find a time machine. This is getting crazy.
It's a lot of work.
So this woman says that she went to visit a friend who just gave birth, took some gifts, a little bit of cuddle time with the baby, went to see her friend Hannah, and Hannah started crying when she saw that the friend was wearing this, tight outfit, high-waisted, tight leggings.
When I started crying is when right after I pushed my first kid out, and you're allowed to get up and go to the bathroom for the first time, go in the restroom, and you look in the mirror, and I'm picturing I just pushed this huge kid. This kid is out of me, right? So it's back to normal Roxanne, right? And you turn on those awful fluorescent lights in the hospital bathroom, and you see your body. You see your body for the first time, and that's what happened. That's what you need for that. I mean, I cried then. I was like,
I mean, it's just part of the process.
Well, you don't know that the first baby, you're like, okay, is this the new me? But so yeah, I mean, I get the emotional.
What happened?
Yes.
So a lot of women, MJ, you know this. They have that postpartum period, where they can be set off by things that normally wouldn't set them off. And if you see your friend wearing something that sets you in a different direction.
By the way, did that translate? I was trying to do the shock.
Oh, it translated.
the shock of Roxanne. Listen, I think you're being too... But don't be hard on yourself. You just carried a baby for 9 months.
Right, but you don't know. You're like, whoa, what is that? Because the big tummy looks super cute when it's all puffed out. And oh, look at her, her baby's about to come out. But then when you see it deflated,
but also you got still the hormones, and when you give birth, I mean, still all kinds of stuff floating around, all kinds of free radicals, and
When I met you guys, I was technically still postpartum. Yeah, I was postpartum.
Postpartum.
Because Daviana wasn't even 1.
And Fester's post-rectum.
I am pre and post.
All right. So, do you think this is you think this is disrespectful that the friend shows up to see the friend that was just pregnant, just gave birth, still has the baby weight, makes the mother cry because she shows up wearing tight clothing, showing off her tight, thin body?
I mean, I have to know a little bit more about this friendship. It sounds like it could be very passive-aggressive, maybe.
Sounds like there's a lot of jealousy in that friendship.
Yeah.
And that one woman sounds like a real bitch, if I'm honest.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe but then again, maybe she just didn't think. Maybe she's just like, okay, I'm going to put on my cute outfit, and then I'm headed somewhere cute. I've got to look
She's like, I'm
nice
going to dress sexy because her photo's going to get jealous.
The friend's name was Hannah, and apparently Hannah told her friend wearing the tight clothing with the great body that you're just rubbing it in. That's a terminology. That was a quote, that you're rubbing it in by showing up. What, is she supposed to show up like in trash bags or a burlap sack?
Ooh.
Or like a tent?
I'm going to thicken the plot.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if Hannah...
Hold on a sec.
The plot thickens.
Yes, with Roxanne. Go ahead.
What if Hannah and her BFF were both trying to get pregnant at the same time, and it happened no problem for Hannah, but then, what's the girl's name? We don't know.
Does BFF stand for big fat
friend?
Friend?
Yes. And
we ought to call Fester BFF.
I'm everybody's BFF.
He is.
Big fat.
Yeah, I'm everybody's BFF.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So she shows up and she's mad because she hasn't been able to get pregnant yet. So she's like, I'm going to rub it in her face and wear a little skimpy outfit.
You know what it sounds like to me?
What?
I'm going to put another
thicken the plot?
Swerve in the plot. I think Hannah is sleeping with the other girl's husband.
And it's his baby?
And now she's jealous. She's like, my husband's sleeping with her and look how good she looks. Any more swerves? Any more plot thickening, Fester?
No, it's pretty thick already.
I thought where you were going is that Hannah's baby is actually the girl in the skimpy outfit's husband's child.
That's even thicker.
This is like some Greek-ass yogurt is so thick. This is crazy how thick it's gotten.
Just crap to think about and stuff that happens. Are people ridiculous? In many cases, absolutely. There is a cop that I gotta believe is going to get fired. There is a cop that was off duty that got pissed off because the truck behind gave him the honk because he wasn't turning right on red. The guy that didn't turn right on red, an off-duty Connecticut cop, gets out of his car, flashes his badge. He's in civilian clothes, but flashes his badge, and then punches the driver behind him in the face through his window.
Was it like an Amazon driver or a FedEx driver?
You know what? You look, the video's out there, and Andrew, can you grab the video and put that up on our website? The cop punch video, because he pulled the audio. I want to play the audio here, and we'll get the video up in just a few moments. We'll put this thing up. Give us 5 minutes, and we'll have the video up. And Fester, you can probably find it quickly, but we'll have the video up in just a bit, mjmorningshow.com, and then it'll be in the as heard on the MJ Morning Show section. Let me give you the fact pattern here. Off-duty Connecticut cop punched a driver, threatened to give the driver a ticket because the guy honked at him for not making a turn on a right on red. Is this the actual news report?
Before you play it, I have to bring something up.
Yeah.
I have to. It's been bothering me for a while. Just a little thing I noticed about you. You always say hunked. You don't say honked. You don't do the honk.
Yeah,
honk.
you do that.
It's like he hunked at him. And then I'm thinking like a big hunky man. But no, you're talking about beep beep.
Honked. Honked.
Yes.
Honked.
Yes.
Like honky.
Honk.
Like let me use that as a sentence. MJ is a honky.
Uh-huh.
All right?
MJ is not hunky.
A hunky. Oh, I'm not. I'm a hunky. I'm not hunky.
Right, yeah, very good. Both ways.
Well, listen, I've actually gotten in the best shape I've been in years. So Michelle says I'm looking pretty hunky.
Yeah,
all right, I'm a hunky. All right.
She has some Munchausen.
Hunky Munchausen's.
What's that called?
It's
Munchausen
by proxy.
Munchausen.
By proxy.
What's it called?
Switzerland, right?
No.
Munchausen by proxy is when you make your kids sick.
Okay, that's not
and then you try to like come to the rescue.
Stockholm syndrome. That's what I meant. Stockholm syndrome.
Switzerland.
Yes.
Stockholm syndrome is no, that's not Switzerland. Stockholm is Sweden.
Close enough.
So,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Now, hang on a minute. Stockholm syndrome is what?
When you,
how do you understand it?
When you
fall in love with your captor.
No, when you're
let Fester talk for
when you're captive,
right?
And then you learn to feel for them and
sympathize with
them,
your captor,
and then you believe their thoughts after a while.
So you start to have feelings for your captors. Stockholm syndrome.
That's what Michelle has. I take back the Munchausen thing. She's never hurt her children.
She's got Schnittholm syndrome.
Boy, does she.
All right.
So yeah, I have the Fox 61 Connecticut.
All right, roll the video on this from.
Now to a Fox 61 exclusive. A Meriden police officer is charged with assault after a violent road rage incident caught on camera.
Fox 61, the only station to obtain both the citizen dash cam and police body cam video. Fox 61's Matt Caron went to the Meriden Police Department in search of answers. He joins us now live with what he discovered. Matt.
Well, despite this incident occurring back in December, it only came to light now thanks to a Freedom of Information Act request and a tip. Investigators say the video shows an off-duty Meriden police officer with more than 20 years of law enforcement experience reaching into a citizen's vehicle and punching him in the face.
All right, so let me play the audio now. Fester, hit pause.
Okay.
Hit pause.
Pause.
So the truck that's being driven by the victim has a dash cam. Then there's a dark-colored pickup truck in front of the victim. They get to a red light where you can make a right on red. The person making the right on red is an off-duty cop who is distracted doing stuff in his vehicle, doesn't make the right turn on red. So the truck behind honks the horn. Honk, honk, honk.
Mm-hmm. Was it a kind of a...
I don't know the honk.
There's two kinds of honks.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a toot-toot, there's the prick honk.
You got the toot-toot.
Right.
And then you got the burp.
Yes.
Okay.
And those send two totally different messages.
Well, hang on. Let me play the audio here, and you can listen to what it sounds like. All right, let me put this thing up on my button bar so we can start and stop it. All right, here we go. You ready? Listen to the audio. This is from the dash cam from the victim.
What are you doing? Wait all f***ing day.
So that's
what I do.
So it records his audio inside too. That's great.
This is the guy that gets punched. So he's like talking to himself. He's honking the horn because the guy in front will not go at the red light.
What are you doing? Wait all f***ing day. Right on red, really? Where does it say that? It says stop here on red. You're the one sitting on your phone doing other things. I wasn't on my phone. Really? No, I wasn't. Yeah, I saw you looking.
Right. So you can tell the other guy's the off-duty cop.
Down doing everything else. No, I was moving something in my bag. Okay, well. And I'll see you with the ticket and I'll call your supervisor. Sure, sounds good. Let me get your badge number.
So
the dog in his passenger seat.
The dog is in the victim's car. So the guy's in a work truck, but he's got a black lab in the car with him as well.
You want to get arrested? You're going to get arrested for assault on a civilian.
So he pounds the guy in the face. The off-duty cop then pounds the guy in the face. It's caught on dash cam. Then he says that, you're going to get arrested. The off-duty cop says, you want to get arrested? And then the victim says, no, you're going to get arrested for assaulting a civilian. Now, here's the last part of the video.
Mr. Emergency.
Yeah, I was just assaulted by a police officer who punched me in the face through my window.
All right, so that's the victim calling 911. And now this is a big, big deal.
Okay, obviously this led to an actual physical altercation, but am I the only one who feels like when they listen to people with really heavy Midwestern accents that they're just nice people and they're not, I don't take them like, they're not tough guys. They're just nice.
Connecticut.
Well, one of the guys has a very strong Midwestern, like
I don't know.
like that. It doesn't sound like tough guy to me. They're just nice, Midwestern civility.
We got this cop who's a loose cannon. I mean, he gets out of his vehicle to confront another guy over honking a horn
at a red light where you're supposed to turn right on red.
I watch there's a YouTube channel, a lot of YouTube channels of cops getting in altercations with other cops and when they're off duty, and it's pretty entertaining stuff.
There was that story near Orlando. Remember the Orlando cop that was speeding and got into the fight with the deputy sheriff, the county. Remember that? It happened like in the last year over, I think, in Orange County, where a sheriff's deputy tried to pull over a speeding Orlando cop.
Yeah,
and that was
it gets fun.
That was a nasty confrontation. All right, roll before we move on. Just roll a little bit more of the news report. So get past. You can get past this part.
All right.
And go, because we already played the audio. All right, hit play.
Get arrested?
You're
going to get arrested for assault on a civilian.
Ganter drove away as Bercuglio placed a call to Rocky Hill Police.
Rocky Hill 911, Seattle emergency.
Yeah, I was just assaulted by a police officer who punched me in the face through my window.
Rocky Hill Police responded and generated this incident report, saying the punch left Bercuglio dazed and possibly concussed. Rocky Hill Police made contact with Ganter at his residence. The interaction on body camera.
Is he pressing charges against me, like for breach?
Yeah.
Like, because I yelled at him and stuff?
For assault, because you hit him.
He's saying that I hit him.
Yeah.
And he has video that you hit him.
Yeah.
Then Ganter asks officers if he can charge Bercuglio.
And there's nothing where I can press for breach of peace for him yelling, whatever it is.
Ultimately, Ganter, who is a school resource officer for the Thomas Edison Middle School, was charged with breach of peace and assault.
I'm Matt Karen with Fox 61 News. We'd like to talk to somebody about Officer Alan Ganter punching a civilian in the face.
Oh, man.
We were told someone from Internal Affairs would speak to us, then told no one was available.
No one's available to come up.
Meriden Police did send Fox 61 a statement saying an internal affairs investigation determined Ganter did violate the Meriden Police Department's rules of conduct and as a result was suspended for 5 days without pay and will be required to attend de-escalation training for 3 consecutive years.
You gotta go to training to teach you not to punch a guy in the face who's honking the horn behind you at a red light.
Yeah, that's not a good move.
Yeah. But they didn't fire him, apparently. Sensitivity training.
5 days suspended.
Wow.
And MG, question.
Yeah. Tell you what, if that happened at some local agencies here in I bet you if that happened with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and you had an off-duty deputy punch someone in the face with that same scenario, I'm guessing they're getting fired.
They get fired for just being on a golf cart and saying who they are.
You know who I am.
Oh, the Mary, former
I'd like for you to let us go.
Tampa chief, yeah.
You don't know who I am, Just give us a warning.
Yeah.
So, question. Is a cop always a cop? Like, I mean, when you punch out from work and you're not in uniform, can you drop the "I'm a cop" line?
Yeah, I think you can. I don't know what. I'm guessing maybe policies vary from agency to agency, but you can't punch someone in the whether you're in uniform or not. You can't punch somebody in the face because they honked at you for not going right on red.
If he was in a squad car, the guy probably wouldn't have tooted his horn at him. That's for sure.
No, I've seen people honk at cop cars. And a lot of times,
have you?
I think I've done it.
Yeah, have you now? Okay.
No, but I've seen that happen, and you'll see
a little waiver.
You'll see a wave. Hey, sorry, because most cops will be, yeah, you know what? I'm distracted for a second. I can go right on red. I'm not. I've seen a toot.
Yeah, and then the cop is like, "All right, I'm going to stay on this guy's tail for as long as it takes."
I just want to say, whatever dash cam this guy had in his vehicle is the one I want to give away next time we give away dash cams.
It's a really good dash cam. The video's great. The audio's great. Hey, the dash cams that we gave away late last year with Kemp Law Group, Those are really good dash cams. We gave away 20 dash cams.
Yeah.
Front and rear, high quality. So now listen to this. This woman is complaining that her boyfriend, who's 40 years old, still has his childhood teddy bear and talks to it. All right.
Whoa.
Thoughts on this?
Anybody in here have something they have hung on to for a long time?
Yeah. That might be a little odd. 40 years old and you got a whoopee? I mean,
That's what it is. You're right.
I mean, essentially, it's like you got this teddy bear from your childhood, and you're so attached that you still hold and talk to your teddy bear?
I had a teddy bear, but I put like fake blood on it, and I would wrestle with it and cut it open.
What, like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
Yeah, basically. And I cut his arm off, and then I duct tape it back on.
Hey, your parents were genuinely worried about you.
Yeah, they thought they had a serial killer in training.
No, that happened when they caught me stabbing the fruit in the refrigerator.
Stop.
They did. They caught me stabbing watermelons.
Why would you? Really?
I don't know. I'd like to see the knife go into it, I guess.
Oh, my God. Are we going through a phase?
I think so. I was going through a fruit stabbing phase.
I'll tell you right now.
Well, at least you're just putting a knife in there.
I'm about to say more horrific is what my dad caught me doing to the watermelon.
Was this just a couple of months ago, Froggy?
Ew. Spencer just talked about doing a watermelon. You come back to me.
I'm kidding. It was a cantaloupe.
Sorry. Oh, we stop it. All right. We ought to grab a couple of calls on this. This might be a tough ask.
Have you ever done a watermelon?
No. Come on, really?
I didn't know what the question was.
And I was reading, so I didn't even hear what Fester said originally. Now I know what he said.
Roxanne didn't say that with sarcasm. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
All right, let's
very serious.
Let's try, and I emphasize the word try. Let's try and grab a couple of calls on this. Do you have an item that you can't let go of? It's from your childhood, or are you a woman? And you're with a guy, or maybe you've been with a guy that has a whoopee or some type of item where they're a grown adult now and they just can't let go of something from their childhood. Or listen, if you're a guy and this has happened with a woman, I mean, I know there are stories of like guys going on dates and dating, like, going out with a 32-year-old woman and get to her apartment and she's got stuffed animals all over her bed. You've heard those stories. All right, anything. Look, the phone's already ringing. I haven't even given out the number. So the phone's already ringing here. 800-990-1047. Let's grab some quick calls here before we end our hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. So do you have any type of relationship, any kind of story that is similar to this woman saying that her 40-year-old boyfriend still holds and talks to his teddy bear named Fluffy from his childhood, and the woman says it creeps her the bleep out? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Have you ever known someone like this? Or listen, if you want to self-report, is there something you just can't let go of from your childhood? And do other people think it's weird? Or maybe are you keeping something secret that you don't want other people to know that you're clinging on to? I mean, how many adults listening right now still have a whoopee?
Oh, that would be weird.
All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Andrew, what did you just ask me?
What is that word you're using?
Oh, whoopee? You never heard that?
You never heard whoopee?
What's a whoopee?
That's from a movie, right?
A whoopie's like a lucky blanket or a stuffed animal or something that pacifies the child.
A lot of times kids will call their blankie either blankie, whoopee. It's like a security blanket.
From the Kurt Russell movie Overboard.
Was it Overboard or Mr. Mom?
It was Mr. Mom.
220, 221, 222, whatever it takes. All right, Andrew's screening calls in there. Let me grab Sheila in Largo. Hey, Sheila, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Morning. I still have actually two of my childhood things. One is my original stuffed animal that I got when I was 11. And then I have a Raggedy Ann because I complained that I never had a Raggedy Ann doll. So my brother bought me one and I still have that.
Wow.
And I'm 69.
Well, hang on a second. Are these things like stuffed in a box, or are these things something you handle like regularly?
Well, I don't handle them regularly because I have cats that would eat them.
Oh, I got you. Sheila, thank you.
All righty.
All right, David is in Tampa. David, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ, good morning.
Morning, David. All right, do you have some, like, throwback security blanket issue?
Well, my mom's mom, my grandmother, brought me a teddy bear when I was born in the hospital. And I am born the same year you were, in 1966.
Right.
And I still have it. It's actually sitting in the corner in my bed, like against the wall.
Do you talk to your teddy bear?
Sometimes I do.
What a creep.
Frog, you don't call our listeners creeps.
Come on, you
Stop
talk to
it.
animals.
Right,
Teddy bears.
So
Sometimes I even hug it a little bit. I hug it.
look at that.
Oh.
Right, so, David, what do you say to your teddy bear that you got when you were born?
I don't know. I just tell it, that I'm happy that I still have it.
Oh.
Yes.
My mother one time put it out for a yard sale, and I found it sitting at the yard sale, and I about came unglued.
Oh, my God. Your mom tried to get rid of it at a yard sale?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
my.
My wife has tried to throw it away numerous times.
That's funny.
And I told her that's a divorce right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
David, thanks for the call. Suzanne in Odessa. Suzanne, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ, long-time listener.
Thank you very much. First-time caller?
Yes.
Well, fantastic. All right. Do you have a throwback Whoopi type story?
I do. I have I'm sure everybody's seen one, an old brown bear with a white nose that I've had since I was about 4 years old. I'm 57. And I don't play with it or anything like that. It's up in the attic in a plastic bag, and I had it appraised.
What, you take it to Antiques Roadshow?
No, I was having some other antiques appraised, so I had it appraised also.
Now, what's the value of this thing?
$4,000.
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you ought to dump that. Get rid of that.
Seriously, cash
I know
out
it.
now.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for the call, Suzanne.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
All right.
MJ.
I don't want to get too late here. I'll take one more, Andrew. One more. Wave off the others. One more. Last call. Tammy in Tampa. Hey, Tammy.
Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead, Tammy.
Hi, I have a snuffleupagus from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
That actually plays the theme.
Wasn't there like walk-on music for Snuffleupagus?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't think so. It was he and Big Bird were close friends.
Wasn't there some kind of like some lumbering kind of like when Snuffleupagus used to come out? There wasn't it like a musical cue or something?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was like was like that.
Yeah, it wasn't techno.
Oh.
No. Oh, Andrew just found it. Here it is. There you go. All right. Thank you. Appreciate the call, Tammy.
All right, have a good one.
You too. All right. So just heads up. I'm sure there are people that are listening that know folks that have these little security blankets and they're adults and they won't let go. 8:50 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close. Oh, Festa, do you have some scene from Sesame Street?
George.
Oh, there. Yeah, that's it. Yes. All right, roll back to the beginning. That's it. Roxanne, you and I are in agreement that Snuffleupagus on Sesame Street had walk-on music.
He did.
All right, like, baseball players walking to the plate.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, roll the...
Hi, Balloon. I like you. Someday I'm going to name you George.
Can we use that music when Fesher walks in the door?
Oh, hi, Mr. Snuffleupagus. I didn't see you coming.
Oh, hello.
Somebody give that guy a depressing pill.
Really?
An antidepressant.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Give him some Prozac or something. Or
How's it going?
Come on, let's play that for your entry music every day, Fesher.
That's awesome.
see if you can find a clean version.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
Find the Fester's new walk-on music will be the Snuffleupagus music.
I will have YouTube pull down every episode of MJTV for copyright.
8:51 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105 brings to a close an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. We appreciate you listening. Remember, tell 3 people a week or a day if you can. Tell 3 people either way to make sure they listen to the MJ Morning Show. And listen, if anyone asks you, if you've got coworkers, friends, hey, what do you listen to in the morning? And if they don't know about us, make sure that you sell us. Sell the MJ Morning Show, that you love the MJ Morning Show, you love our content, and help promote the MJ Morning Show. Oh, Fester, you found it? Fester found it.
Might be a little low.
Yeah, it does sound low. Hold on.
Oh, come on. That sucks.
Oh, Fester, don't touch it. I'll let me see if I can move the audio up.
It's off the TV. That sucks.
I gotta find more.
That's too low, the walk-on music. All right, we have 1 hour to go, or roughly an hour to go. We've got Busch Gardens tickets to give away. We got a 4-pack of Busch Gardens tickets. You can even experience the Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival running through May 19th. So free tickets are on the way. This is a 4-pack of Busch Gardens tickets. This is a nice price. And it's coming up next hour, and a solid hour of MJ on the way. Got a couple of things that I find pretty fascinating. We got a maniac teenager on Alaska Airlines. We got to talk about that. I am very ticked off at a woman trying to sell her toddler. We'll get into that story coming up. Oh, and if you don't know about the J-Lo cancellation, this news broke earlier this morning. We had it that J-Lo has canceled her Tampa concert. So we'll get into that a little later on. Got a lot of stuff in the final hour of the MJ Morning Show next. If your garage door breaks, who can you count on? here, folks, we got some breaking news, some TikTok breaking news. Former Treasury Secretary Steve I like to buy a vowel pad, Mnuchin, because it's like M-N.
Yeah.
You find this funny, Roxanne?
Yeah, I mean, I do that myself. Like if there are too many consonants mashed together in a name, I just kind of mumble them.
Yeah. So Steve Mnuchin, he says he's putting together a group to buy TikTok. You know what the issue is? Do you think that ByteDance is going to want to sell TikTok? Do you think the Chinese Communist government is going to want ByteDance to sell TikTok?
So it gets banned. So it goes away. If they don't sell it, it goes away.
Exactly. If, and listen, there's a big if here because it did unanimously pass the House of Representatives yesterday, calling for the sale of TikTok or I'm sorry, not unanimously. It passed overwhelmingly. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for catching me. It passed overwhelmingly yesterday. The large, it was only like 65 no votes. It was like what was it? It was 352 to 65. 352 yes for the bill to force TikTok to sell to an American company or be banned in the U.S. I mean, you never have this type of a bipartisan support for a bill these days. Washington's a broken, fractured mess. So this was, virtually unprecedented. 352 to 65 voting for TikTok to have to sell or be banned in the United States. So that's the House. Then it goes to the Senate. A tougher uphill climb in the Senate, but it could pass in the Senate. And then the president says he's going to sign it. So now you got former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, who's saying that, and he was on CNBC this morning. He was on Squawk Box. And he said, I think the legislation should pass. I think it should be sold. It's a great business, and I'm putting together a group to buy TikTok.
Great. Thanks, Steve Mnuchin.
But the big unknown is, let's say that this does pass the House, which it did. Let's say it passes the Senate. That's still pending, and it is signed into law. Would ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, actually sell? Also, keep in mind, if they did sell and a new company got a hold of all the TikTok infrastructure, that also might reveal the extent that the Chinese Communist government's been spying on Americans. So do they want that to leak out? Yes, Andrew.
Can you think of another time where Congress forced a company? Can you think of another time when Congress forced a company to sell or something like that?
Well, there are antitrust divestitures that have happened over the years.
Yeah, they broke up monopolies before.
Yeah, exactly. Look at AT&T.
Not quite the same thing. It's not a monopoly.
Look at all the remember all the bells, all the the Bell system and all that, all the phone company breakup. You've had forced divestitures of businesses. Anyway, up in the air. Hey, there's also additional news, which I think is very, very important. Christy Brinkley.
Is she putting a group together to buy TikTok?
She's putting a group together to run over Billy Joel. No. Of course, Christy Brinkley, former wife of
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. And what song was written about Christy Brinkley?
Uptown Girl.
Yep. Whoa, Uptown Girl.
God, dog. That was the pits.
That was pretty bad.
Thank you. Froggy only comments like
that
every
was the Drizzling Dukes, dude.
Every 40 minutes he comments if I sing.
But they're gems.
Now, here's the deal. Christy Brinkley just revealed that she was diagnosed with skin cancer.
Aw.
Yep. But Christy Brinkley says, she's 70.
Yeah, she looks amazing. She should sue Sports Illustrated for putting her in those bikinis all those years.
All their fault.
Yep.
All their fault. Hey, Christy, we have a little bit of advice for you. It might be a little late in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 99, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it.
There you go. She's 70, and then on Instagram, yesterday she posted a picture of her with bandages on her forehead, and she captioned the image with, "The good news for me is we caught the basal cell carcinoma early, and I had great doctors that removed the cancer and stitched me up to perfection like an haute couture Dior." What? French fashion talk there, Froggy. I wouldn't expect you to understand anything I just said.
What are you doing, a Cajun fester?
You know there's a big French influence down there in the bayou.
Yeah.
Listen, down here we got French couture.
Yeah, etouffee.
That's right.
Yeah. Beignets.
All of it. It's called the French Quarter for a reason.
And then the other celebrity news today is that Jennifer Lopez, we brought you this early this morning. We brought you this in the 6 o'clock hour, that J-Lo has canceled her Tampa concert, as well as 6 other concerts. Why? Now, Fester noted that it's a chunk of concerts during a particular week. So is there a conflict that week, or are these shows just not selling?
I think she just has a scheduling conflict.
Well, how do you set up your first tour in 5 years and then suddenly have a scheduling conflict?
Because that's the whole thing.
In August.
Right. She hasn't toured in 5 years. She forgot how demanding and how you have to really actually be there. And she's like, oh, wait, I can't do it that week. I've got, XYZ.
5 months out.
Has to pick up Ben at rehab or something?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, that's summertime for celebs to do their vacationing, I think. I don't know. This is my guess.
Probably in the way of it.
Yeah. We're you know what? We're going to Lake Como, and this concert tour, my first in 5 years, gets in the way. I'm going to cancel Cleveland.
Sorry, Cleveland.
I'm going to cancel Nashville.
Sorry, Nashville.
I'm going to cancel Raleigh. I'm going to cancel Atlanta. I'm going to cancel New Orleans, Houston, and Tampa. No bueno.
Screw you, J-Lo. We don't want you anyway.
Yeah, listen, I like J-Lo. I've got nothing against J-Lo.
I love her.
She's a lovely, lovely woman. But
the best.
Why did she cancel? Because initially, if you cancel shows, you tend to think that they're just not going to be financially profitable, that maybe the ticket sales were doom and gloom, totally dismal. But Fester, you noted it was really, like August 21st through like the 27th?
Yeah.
It's that whole block of concerts that are going to be canceled. But again, back to you, Roxanne. How do you have a scheduling conflict? First tour in 5 years, something's not adding up here. So the question is, this is the big mystery. Welcome to Mystery Theater.
Jeez.
Why is Jennifer Lopez canceling 7 shows, including Tampa? Will we ever know? Is it poor ticket sales, or is it because she's got a manicure, pedicure scheduled and it's going to interfere?
How old are those twins of hers that she has with Mark Anthony? How old are your kids,
26.
Mark Anthony?
You want to know how old my children are? Ay, Dios. Dios mío. All kinds of ages.
I think the twins are 18 and 25.
See.
I think
exactly it, yeah.
One got stuck.
I think they're 16 now.
Yes, 16.
No, really?
They're 16,
do we know?
The 15.
Yes.
Do we know?
Yeah.
The 15.
They were born in February 2008.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And your point?
My point is maybe the 16-year-olds have things to do. Like, I'm just putting myself in J-Lo's position. If I had J-Lo's money and, freedom to do whatever you want, and I was like, yeah, I've got this new tour planned. Oh, shoot, Davion and Evelyn have stuff to do. I'm going to have to cancel. I mean, I know it's upsetting to fans, but you just do what you want to do. You do whatever you want to do when you're J-Lo.
Also, Froggy, Quince is not 16. No, that's 15.
Yeah, they just had one.
That's 15. And then 16 in Espanol is 16.
To come more deprisa.
What did you just say?
I don't know.
All right, so if we ever find out why, it's got to come out why she canceled the tour, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, people are going to be on her. Paparazzi's going to be looking for her during that particular week.
What does she have? Like 3 songs? I mean, come on.
Yeah, Jenny from the Block.
Yeah.
Love Don't Mean a Thing.
How does she do a 2-hour show? Really?
It's a lot of talking to the
She
audience.
plays a couple Selena songs because she was Selena's.
Oh, yes. She was. That was her big break.
Andrew says they're going to be 17-minute extended dance mixes on each song.
I'm sure it's going to be a great concert for those cities that she goes to. However, she pooped on our city.
She took a big poopy.
Hey, I hope Michelle is okay. Michelle had that neck shocker last night.
When you're sleeping?
No. Hold on. So it's funny you bring that up because, weird things that your body does. So Michelle was watching TV with me downstairs. I'm doing show prep. And Michelle turned her neck. You know when sometimes you turn your neck and you get that insane pain? You know what I'm talking? It's like a
pinch.
It's like a pinch, a shock. It's like a jolt. And it hasn't happened to me in a long time. It's been, knock on whatever the hell this crap is in this dump of a studio. I think it's pressboard and Formica. Does that count? Is that knocking? Am I negating the superstition here?
It's some kind of wood byproduct.
No, but Michelle had that neck. Is there a name for that? Fester, go to Google.
Neck crank.
Roxanne, you can Google Fester. Fester's got the chubby, fruit cutting fingers.
I don't know the right words to use because I don't believe I've ever had one.
All right, hold on. Type in neck turning shock pain.
It's a neck wrench.
Well, yeah, that's a good term for Froggy. That's a good term. But let's see if we can do better.
Is it sharp pain when turning? Would sharp serve as
sharp neck turning pain?
Okay, so you've got the cervical radiculopathy. Cervical radiculopathy.
Look at the birthday.
Right. Oh, but Michelle had this last night, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And I admitted she told me what it was, and she's like, "Man, when you turn your neck the wrong way and you get that, you've had that. Have you had that?"
She's got to drink some pickle juice.
Hang on a minute, Fester.
Yeah, it's like a pinched nerve.
Have you had that where you turn your neck? It's not like you have a pinch. It's a certain movement. I don't know what aligns in your neck, but you turn.
Would you call it a stinger?
It's sort of like a neck.
Got a stinger, kid.
Fester, have you never had that?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think.
Come on, if you've had the neck turning pain. Roxanne, have you had the neck turn? It jolts you like seriously. Have you had that?
I've definitely had a pinched. I've definitely had a pinched nerve in my neck.
No, it's the neck.
I haven't had a.
It's the quick neck turn.
Thing.
Yeah.
No, but I have some theories as to why Michelle may have it this week.
Why?
Because of I just find that my whole body is wonky because of that stupid time change. Yeah,
no, I don't
think she's not been sleeping as well, and I think that maybe sets you up to get a stinger.
Well, I hope she's okay too.
Froggy, have you never had? I've had it.
I've had it.
I'm trying to think over the course of my life. It hasn't happened maybe 3-4 times over my entire life.
Right there, right in the crick of the neck.
Yeah, it's like you turn your neck, and then it's like you've just been shocked in the neck with a cattle prod, and you get this it's like a sharp wrenching pain. So, Froggy, you've had it.
Yes.
Let me see if Michelle's back to normal. I mean, I felt bad for her. She was like wincing.
Did you offer a massage?
Let me call her cell phone. Now, what's today? Thursday? Yeah, let me dial her cell.
Yeah, man, that's an in for you to get some.
Yeah, right?
What?
That's what I'm saying. You offer a massage, and then you work the neck, and then you work the shoulder blades, and you reach around for the boobs, and you turn her around and go to town.
I drugged her with some muscle relaxants.
Nice.
No,
Give her the old Cosby treatment.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I don't have any muscle relaxants.
Oh, okay.
And the other, maybe she's not going to.
Just joking. I don't have any muscle.
Maybe she's not going to pick up.
Hello?
Hey, Michelle. Where are you?
In the house?
I know that, but all right, because you're answering the phone, kind of funny. How's your neck?
I'm trying to get ready to go.
I know. That's why I wanted.
If you know, then why are you calling me?
How's your neck?
How's your neck?
I'm so sorry. We care about you. How's your neck?
My neck is fine.
What a
all right, so because sometimes
it goes away.
No, sometimes I've had that where it lasts for a couple of days.
Okay, you're weird.
All right, so you're
one of those things. It happens and then it goes away within 2 minutes.
Oh, not me. I've had it last. So when was the last time you had the neck turning shocker jolter?
I can't even remember.
Yeah. In fact, I was trying to think back, and I might have had this 3 times over my entire life.
You know,
So-
it happens mostly like when you're young.
You know, I think you're right. This happened when I was a lot younger, exactly. And I haven't had one in a while, but it sucks when you get it. All right, Michelle,
Yeah.
I'll see you soon.
All right, I'll see you there. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Golly, how busy can you be?
Well, it's workout day, so she's got to get to
Oh.
the gym, and then I'll meet her for my session at the gym.
Not to move backwards, any possibility J-Lo's pregnant and is expecting a child during that time?
At 54?
Yeah, there are rumors online because of
How
how
old
she
is
was
she?
dressed one time. I believe she's 54, 53, 54. I mean, having a baby is the ultimate fountain of youth. So she strikes me as a type who would try to do that.
She'd perform 9 months pregnant the
Yeah.
week before. Okay.
Well, there you go. Festus just shot holes in your
Okay.
theory.
It's not my theory. I just saw some rumblings. Just wanted to bring it to the table.
The other weird medical thing, have you guys ever had the jolter awaker?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
We
I've
have.
had that. I haven't had it in many.
I
many,
had
many
it in my
months.
teens. I have not had that since I was I think I had it from 13 to 18. There was a stretch in my teens where you would doze off, and then you'd only doze off for a couple of minutes, and then suddenly it would be boom, and it was like this jolting blammo. And it was like someone dropped the piano on you. And
Yeah.
you know, have you ever had that one, Fester?
Yeah, I've had it before when I thought I was having a heart attack. And I go, and
That's called sleep apnea.
My wife's like, "How's your arm?" I'm like, "It feels fine." She goes, "Okay, it's not a heart attack."
I had it numerous times in my teens. It wasn't abundant, but it seemed to happen maybe once or twice a year where you'd lie down and take. It wasn't typically when you went to bed at night. It was like if you napped or fell asleep or dozed off during the day, and you'd be sleeping for a few minutes, and then you boom, you'd get this jolter, somebody, you got hit by a car going 50 miles an hour. And you jolt awake, and your heart would be pounding. And there's a name for this thing.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary about a guy who couldn't sleep for a year.
Right.
And he had that. He would fall asleep, and every he'd sleep for 5 minutes, and then he'd be like, and just wake up. It was he was inflicted with it.
Ooh.
Inflicted?
Afflicted.
He was inflicted with that disease. Afflicted.
Afflicted. AFFLICT.
And then he ended up dying.
Right. Oh, what?
Yeah, because he was bedridden for so
Jeez,
long, his
sucks.
body gave out.
All right. When we get, yes.
Okay, I'll share when we get back. Something that happens
Thank
to me
you.
sleep related.
All right. 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, final chunk on the MJ Morning Show. We're going to climb into Roxanne's bed next. Also, do not do this on an airplane. We got a lot of stuff to do. Plus, we're giving away the Busch Gardens tickets, a 4-pack. You can go check out the Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival going on right now through May 19th. So heads up, your chance to win the Busch Gardens tickets, a 4-pack next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. 9:30 exactly at the MJ Morning Show. So, Fester, you found out what the actual medical technical term is when you're falling asleep and you have that boom, that jerk that jolts you awake. And again, I had this in my teens and then it went away. I haven't had this in decades and decades, and I think a lot of folks know what I'm talking about. And it never happened to me when I was going to bed at night. It was always, you come home from school, 2:30, 3 o'clock, you take a little, you doze off for a second, and you'd like lie down, and like it seemed like 2 minutes after you close your eyes and you fell into sleep, that suddenly you have that bam, a jolt, like you got hit by a bolt of lightning or something. And the name of it is?
It's called a hypnic jerk.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, right. Listen to me, you hypnic jerk. A hypnic jerk is when the muscles involuntarily twitch.
Yep.
It usually occurs just as you're falling asleep.
Well, there you have it. Hey, can you send out a search party for Roxanne and for Froggy as well? Oh, here we go.
I have retrieved one of them telepathically. Here's the lovely Roxanne.
So, Roxanne, thank you. You left us with a cliffhanger about something you want to talk about with your bed.
Oh,
so
yes, I did.
We're gonna climb into Roxanne's bed now. All right. So,
okay.
What do you want to discuss? So let me get the appropriate music for Roxanne's bed. All right, here we go. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
What kind of music is that? Hubba hubba music?
Just
music.
Yeah, just music. Yeah.
Just nice music. Okay. So this is what happens to me, and it's happened in the past. It happened to me yesterday. Has this happened to any of you as nappers? I lie down to take my nap, and I was really tired. So normally I take about an hour and 15-minute nap, but I was going to take a 2-hour nap. I put a weighted blanket over me. I put a pillow over my face, and I don't think I moved for 2.
Hold on. You said that Doug put a pillow over your face?
No.
Were you like fighting and clawing?
Dude, I tried to sleep with a weighted blanket, and I woke up thinking I was being like tortured.
Like when a nephew sneaks into like a great aunt's bedroom, or a grandson sneaks in with the pillow over the head to try to expedite the reading of the will. So, all right, go ahead.
He tried to smother me. No, I was just taking my nap. And so I woke up 2 hours later, bless you, and I was so grumpy. I had the nap grumpies. But you only get it if you sleep for more than an hour and 15 minutes or an hour. You get the nap grumpies. And I was just in a worst mood, and I just had the worst outlook.
The numpies.
Yes, the numpies. But it is a thing, because I've seen people, when you exceed a certain time limit, it makes you grumpy because it's like you haven't, I don't know. It's like
it's
icky.
Funny you bring this up, because I actually saw an item that there's a sleep expert that said this is how long you should nap. And there's a sleep expert, Alicia Roth, who is a PhD, a sleep psychologist who works in Cleveland. So if you're like a medical expert and you're up in Cleveland, where might you work?
Cleveland Clinic.
Exactly.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No?
Cedar Park.
Lake Erie Medical Center.
No, it's the Cleveland Clinic.
Oh.
But Roth.
Download the app now.
What the hell is that?
What's happening?
Hey, shut it off.
I'm scared.
Shut it off. Oh, my God.
What's happening?
Hold on.
That happened by itself?
Oh, damn. This. Shut it all down. Stop it. Stop everything.
Stop. Stop overreacting. MJ,
No, because it'll shut off our podcast.
Is that how that goes? Is it too late?
How do you bring our podcast back?
It's over.
No.
We are. Well, hold on. Because what happens if the computer trips, it shuts us off.
So
Let me check if we're still on.
MJ played a song as a rejoin.
Yeah.
You played Who's Johnny, and then it ended and tripped the next event, which is the end of the show.
Hey, Andrew, I rely on your expertise on that.
Yeah, Andrew,
Dumbass. Guess that fell through the cracks.
I mean, we've never used a song as a rejoin. It's kind of an awkward thing to me.
No, I don't think it was that awkward. Anyway, where the hell was I?
Sleep study, Cleveland Clinic,
Okay.
some chick there.
Are we back on the podcast?
No.
Or I'm sorry, not the podcast, but if people are streaming live. So if people are streaming live and we go to commercial break, it'll shut off the live stream. So
Great.
yeah, son of a sorry for the interruption, folks. Oh, so okay, that's Froggy. Is that us?
Yes.
All right, so we're back.
I think you're good.
All right, we're back. All right, sorry about that. So this Roth recommends keeping naps to 30 minutes or less. You know, I've always heard this.
That's tough.
And also the sweet spot, I've heard that 15 minutes is like a sweet spot for a nap.
Yeah.
Kim naps for like 10 minutes.
Like
it's crazy.
But
That's impressive.
But I've heard that. I've heard 10, 15-minute naps that if you can take those, that can recharge you and make it feel like hours worth of sleep.
How's that possible?
Roxanne, I nap for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I nap typically during the day.
Yeah.
Especially when I was doing both shows. I would try to grab a nap of like at least an hour. But I've had some naps of an hour, hour and a half, but I don't get that sluggish deal, because some people say that when they take a nap like that's an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours, that then when they wake up, they feel like they're 1,000 pounds, like they're all heavy and they can't. Oh my God! And it's like they're almost like paralyzed.
How does it feel for Fester then?
Normal, just normal, regular.
That's called Thursday.
I like to sleep for about an hour and 15 because I think I don't get enough sleep cycles during the night. So then I just want one full sleep cycle during the day. So that an hour 15 works for me. But if it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours, I get the grumpies. And I watched this guy one time. He was a news reporter for ABC in New York. And he talked about how he napped every day and he was miserable every day of his life that he woke up after that nap. I was like, maybe you need a new profession.
Yeah, maybe so. We have a student pilot. A student pilot that was on an Alaska Airlines commercial flight that tried to break into the cockpit 3 times in the middle of the flight. And then his explanation was, oh, I'm just testing you guys.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Why don't you tell that to the federal air marshal that may or may not be on board, or to the police that are going to meet the airplane at the gate when they land or make an emergency landing.
Just testing you guys?
Yeah, just, just a little, they sent me from the home office. I'm just doing a test.
You guys passed, by the way.
19-year-old student pilot was traveling as a passenger on an Alaska Airlines flight, tried multiple times to rush the cockpit, and then told the flight crew, just testing you. This is in a court filing. Nathan Jones is apparently an imbitard.
Whoa.
Was arrested earlier this month on a federal charge of interference with flight crew members because of what happened. He boarded Alaska Airlines Flight 322 from San Diego to Washington, D.C. He was in seat 6E, that's 6 Echo, but
Thanks.
he did not stay in the seat for a long time. According to Federal Air Marshal Thomas Pattinson, Jones got out of his seat multiple times, made 3 separate attempts to go to the front of the plane, and open the aircraft's cockpit door.
At what point doesn't another passenger kick his ass?
Now, these days, other passengers are not going to let 9/11 happen again. But I wonder if anyone sprung into action. So this caused clearly alarm and concern among the flight attendants. And they even asked if there were any off-duty law enforcement officers on the flight.
I'd have lied. Yep, I am. Let me at him.
Yeah. I'm Paul Blart, mall cop.
I worked security at St. Petersburg Junior College from 1992 to 1993.
Let me get on my Segway and roll up the aisle from 32A.
I'm coming. I'm up there. Hold on.
So got out of the seat. They said, hey, any law enforcement on board the plane? There was. They restrained him in flex cuffs, and they sat on either side of him. So there were a couple of law enforcement on the plane. And when the flight attendants asked Jones why he tried to access the cockpit, he said, I'm just testing you.
Wow.
I got a couple of punches in.
Yeah, the air marshal who is quoted in the story was not on the plane. So apparently no air marshal on the plane, but the air marshal service commenting after the fact. So as a result of these attempts to break into the cockpit, they locked the cockpit down during the duration of the flight, and they also put the beverage cart in front of the cockpit for the entire flight. I would imagine you got to put it away for landing, but you'll notice if you're on a commercial jet, and this is common standard operating procedure, that when the captain or the first officer has to use the lavatory, has to use the facilities, that they will take the beverage cart or a food cart and they will block the area as you approach the galley or the front of the plane. They'll put a cart across to prevent someone from rushing forward as the cockpit door is opened up to allow the first officer or the captain to go
tinkle.
Do what they got to do.
Yeah,
Do a tinkly winkly.
We know.
Exactly. But what's going through this kid's head? I mean, clearly, kid was a student pilot. Do you want him to get a pilot's license? This will probably put the kibosh. The FAA will probably say, you're not worthy of a pilot license. But what's going on in this kook's head? To try to rush the cockpit and open it 3 times and say, oh, yeah, I'm just testing you guys.
It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, so when the flight landed at Dulles in Northern Virginia, just outside of D.C., this guy, the 19-year-old Nathan Jones, he allowed law enforcement to search his luggage. Agents found multiple notebooks and writings describing how to operate an aircraft, including takeoff in the air and landing techniques, but his wallet also had a student pilot's license. Yeah, the lawyer for Jones said yesterday that the charges against his client were inconsistent with his life. No prior history of any kind of crazy events, but why would he do this?
Yeah, it's the new normal for his life now, lawyer boy.
So the lawyer said that the Jones family has become concerned about his mental health. And that there's no, that's what I want. I want a guy with a pilot's license who's trying to break into Alaska Airlines cockpits, who then might get his own pilot's license. That's the kind of guy I want flying in the air.
This feels like it hasn't been a good couple of months for Alaska Airlines.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Alaska probably said, man, why the hell couldn't this happen on like Spirit or something? Well, listen, the door plug blew out. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And, there's another story on that door plug that blew out on that 737 MAX 9. The story emerged yesterday that plane was scheduled to go into maintenance that exact day. So I don't think it was probably door plug related, but that plane was supposed to be taken. I'm really aggravated here. Florida woman tried to sell a toddler for $500.
That's a good price. I don't know. What are they going for?
I am outraged because a kid should go for at least $1,000.
Let's say that's a deal. Yeah.
I'm outraged at this story. No, all kidding aside.
$500 a limb.
Or pay to take them.
Well, here's the deal.
They're bad behaved.
Woman here in Florida, this is Palatka. Woman here in Florida abandoned her 18-month-old daughter after trying to sell her to a bystander for $500. What about my daughter? How much?
She has her in a coat.
How much for your little girl? This is earlier this month. Jessica Woods, 33, was approached by an employee of a nearby business who asked if she needed help. The employee told police that Woods was loitering around the business for days. When the worker went to check on her, she said that she did not need any help, but offered to sell her child for $500.
Okay.
I'm
just processing. Not like, okay, like, listen, the first thing you do, you buy the child and get the kid to safety.
The person refused to buy the child, the 18-month-old, for $500.
What, negotiated?
So, wait a minute. The woman then put the child on the ground and then just walked away and abandoned it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a terrible negotiation.
Yeah.
Awful.
Palatka police officers with assistance of the Department of Victims Advocates provide child care to the Department of Children and Families. So that's who took custody of the kid. Clearly the mother's got a screw loose. Something's wrong there. But tell you what, $500, that's like a markdown bin, for...
It's like these Amazon stores that get like all the returns, these hot bin stores. You buy the kid on Friday and it's like $500, and you come back on Saturday and it's $400.
Yeah, well, those places sort of popped up around the Tampa Bay area.
There's a couple of them around. Yeah.
We got to roll. We got to go. 9:45 at the MJ Morning Show. Before we do get out of here, how about some Busch Gardens tickets? Now, this will enable you to experience the Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival. Runs through May 19th. A 4-pack of Busch Gardens tickets right now if you're caller number 25. Caller 25, 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Good luck with the Busch Gardens tickets, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, folks, on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And let's be careful out there.